Chicks on your APs, looking like weeds. Have a taste.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the 1 a.m. pod. I'm Rashad Milligan, joined here today by RB Mo and Jelani. Fellas, how are y'all doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Another beautiful day. Can't complain.
Yes, sir. Jelani, what's happening?
I'm great. For the listeners at home, we're recording this at 4 a.m. right now. So. No, it's I'm good though. Everything's I have no complaints right now.
The craziest part about all of this is we do live stream these episodes like when we're first filming them, but like people haven't discovered the YouTube channel yet. When people start watching it live, it'll probably be a few things we can't get away with, but we'll worry about that when we get there.
In due time.
In due time.
No, we moving on up, man. We're gonna have the same amount of subscribers as Mr. Beast before the year is over.
Oh no, for sure. I want to know like how the chat will look though, because I don't know if I've ever seen a live podcast. Like the closest thing might be Pat McAfee show.
Honestly, I think that's gonna be like I might have said this before, but I feel like that's gonna be when we really know that we on, like when we first get our first like real batch of haters. You know what I mean?
No, Club 522. Club 520 does it. They do it live in the morning.
Yeah, certain ones, like once you reach a certain level, you could. I know like Nightcap, like they got like certain times when they stream too. Like I don't know.
But Nightcap, they don't be talking to the chat though, do they?
I think they do sometimes. I feel like I've seen them. I think if you donate enough money, if you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it's like Jeff Teague and them.
I believe so. Yeah.
Because I know. Okay, so that must be a Shannon Sharp media because Teague and them, they under Shannon Sharp.
Are they still underneath him?
Yeah, Cause well, hold on. I have to look at because
I don't know.
To tell you. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I don't know if Shannon Sharp is still. I don't know if he's still with the volume anymore.
He's not with what's his name anymore, or he wasn't. Yeah, no. See, they still with the volume. Yeah, look at it.
Man,
look, Shannon Sharp, Volume, DraftKings, Boost Mobile. Dang, they owned by a lot of. They splitting that money.
I was about to say
by 4, and then they got 4 people on screen, and then they got Barbie coming in too, and then they be talking about Mike off camera, the production. Oh, okay. I don't want to sound like I'm hating. They do have a Patreon, and Jeffy also does the playback streams and stuff like that. So it might still be getting. They got to be still getting some money.
Oh no, they get into the bag, but they just in like a podcast 360 deal.
But, for sure.
But there's still people in 360 deals that make money. So
yeah, nah, facts. It's a few things where you see like someone signed to a bad deal and you like, bro, they still living a better life than like the average person. I'm trying to show you where you can see Shannon Sharp.
Say it again. The last part. Say it again.
I was just trying to stretch it out to see the Shannon Sharp logo because our logo's kind of blocking it right now.
Oh yeah, he got the.
There it is. You can see right there.
Yeah, the little. It looked like I don't know if you ever used to watch like the Drew Carey show back in the day, but like one of the intros kind of looked like some of those would get it. But yeah, you could still. I mean, not to like get sidetracked, but yeah, you definitely could still be like technically. I know there was a period in the music industry like late 2000s when they was only giving out 360 deals like before streaming really took off, and they had that added revenue. Like because you gotta think like by the time we got to the late 2000s, nobody was really buying CDs like that because we had LimeWire and YouTube and all that. So in order for the labels to get their money back, they had to do what they had to do. But the podcast 360 deal is hilarious.
How y'all feel about Yachty first signing to a 360, getting called out for it by Joe Budden, and then turning around, starting his own label to give out 360s?
I feel like, I mean, he never seemed like he had an issue with it himself. So I guess I don't It'd be different if he was like, man, like, you know, like his deal was bad or he had some complaints about the 360 deal, but he seemed happy about his deal. So I guess that's why he feels like, oh yeah, let me go ahead and do this for my people. I just think, you know, I've mentioned this to Rashad multiple times. I feel the whole everybody wearing the same colors, them being like your little background group, I just don't think that helps them at all, bro. Like, just because I just see them as his, I don't know, lack of better words, his lackeys, you know, like this is my little posse right now, you know, like this is what who was it? Was it Phil Jackson that was talking about LeBron rolling around with a posse?
Yeah.
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 This is what he envisioned. Like this is the exact vision of what he was saying. It's not what LeBron had going on, but this is what he made it seem like. And this is just all the dudes. Like I think DC2 Trill is like the most independent of them, where he kind of got a little bit of his own motion, but the rest of them is just concrete. That's all that. I don't know, and it's like there's nothing wrong with, you know, repping your set, but it's like them individually, they need to have, and then the stem that he got, she just be in the background. She don't do nothing. Like, you know, no shade, but I don't ever see her do nothing. She just be in the back trying to look cool, you know? So, but to answer your question, I think, you know, he doesn't see nothing wrong with it. And I mean, shoot, they seem happy, you know. He feeding them, he dressing them. So, hey, you know.
Yeah, I'm just curious as to like what area of Atlanta are they finding all these light-skinned lesbians at? Like, is there a certain side of town where they all come from, or because it's like it'd be one thing. It would be one thing if you know, if Caribou left the group and then they replaced her with like a, you know, if you just got another girl, but you got like a dark skinned girl, or you got a brown skinned girl or something like that. Like I would be like, okay, like they just wanted another. That makes sense just to have another woman in the group or whatever. But like
on some unviv stuff.
Yeah, exactly. But to replace her with somebody who, I'm not gonna say they look similar, but they like physically they're both light skinned women that, like Mo said, they got them dressed like you know, they got them dressed like they look like little yachties. Like they're all like his knockoffs or whatever. Yeah, so it's an interesting collective, I'll say that.
Well, I guess Rio, her job now is, because it's crazy. The craziest part is her name is Rio.
That's super crazy.
It seems like a parody. Like it seems like there is so big or whatever. Like it's such a funny thing and an inside joke. They're just playing with you and they're like, "What's your name?" My name's Tina. Okay, you going by Rio. However, seeing this, seeing the model here for Concrete Boys, that is something that Gio was doing a lot of when she was in Concrete. Just kind of when he finally released his Air Forces, the Concrete Forces and stuff like that, Gio was the main person in the commercials and everything like that, because, you know, obviously that's her job to be a model. So that's what it looks like this girl's job is, Rio's. But her name being Rio is extremely funny. Mo, what do you want to say about Rio?
I mean, you know, shout out to her. I guess, you know, give it some time. You know, I guess. Hopefully, you know, I would like to see her do more. I just want them all to do more, bro. I just think it's just the whole aesthetic. It's just like it's continuing to give them looks and continue to get them put money in their pockets. But I wonder, how does she feel? I ain't never heard nothing from her, you know?
Yeah, she didn't even speak when it was just her and Max. Like it was just her and Max, and she just pressed a little soundboard thing. And I'm like, she doesn't speak. Like that's her job, not to speak.
Maybe she's not even lesbian, bro. He just found a random.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie. I thought that too when she wasn't speaking. I was like, man, she not even. He just trying to replace Gio. But Geo had motion though. But before she was with Concrete, everything like that, she was already in Vogue and doing her thing on a model scene. She was kind of like the it girl for lesbian girls for real, for real. But before Concrete, and it was just like she was popping, and she was friends with Kara, so she just kind of was like around them all the time, and then kind of unofficially became a member, and then officially became a member, and so I don't know, like you said, Mo. I think Geo being around Concrete kind of raised her profile more as a personality on social media, to the outside world of just people outside of Instagram and people outside of kind of following the online lesbian it girl ism and everything like that. Like it just hip hop fans in general all knew who Geo was after she was with Concrete for a year. So why not? Why not get your name up? Go ahead, Mo.
The Queen Latifah braids that she got are killing me.
Chill. Shouts out to Rio. Keep doing your thing. Well, like I said, I'm only saying that because I ain't heard a word from her. I'm gonna let her say a word, like you say. You let her speak everything like that. We find out about her personality, who she is, why she decided to join Concrete after she saw how Yachty did Kara publicly and everything like that. Then okay, all right, yeah, I'm all for that. But yeah, she I feel like she, you know what I'm saying. I ain't gonna go too crazy on her right now, except for the fact that her name is Rio. That's like the only thing that I'll point out. That's funny and stuff.
See, now I feel bad for putting the lesbian allegations on her because I just saw how she was dressed and just kind of assumed. It was kind of messed up on my part. So yeah, let me walk that one back. I'm not sure if she's a lesbian or not, but I just think it's funny to just have a like you said, to have a light skinned girl in your clique named Geo, and then replace her with another light skinned chick named Rio. It's very funny. Like imagine imagine if we had beef with Mo, and then we replace him next week with a brown skin dude named Poe. Like he wears glasses too. But we don't say nothing about it. We just keep doing the podcast like it's a normal thing.
Welcome back. We got RB Poe in the building.
Exactly. Yeah, we just keep going like it's like nothing happened. No, it's crazy.
This is insane. Yeah, this picture is. I'm sorry. It got quiet. This picture is insane. For the people who are listening on Spotify or any of the listening services, thank you so much. Rate the 1 a.m. podcast 5 stars. But we are currently have a picture up of Concrete Boys, the old Concrete Boys, when they're on Kai Cenat stream, and in the middle it's Caribou and Geo. And now I'm going to go back to a picture of the current Concrete Boys. If you give me a second here. All right, give me a second. These are the current Concrete Boys. All right, hold on. All right, so the current Concrete Boys and the former Concrete Boys. Crazy work.
Yo, do you see that video of Kara when she got arrested?
All right, so already I'm prepared, you know what I'm saying? You know, we here at Kara, you know what I'm saying, associates. I came here to defend my client 100%. So with that being said, I already spoke on the Kara thing when it first came out, and it first came out like a month ago or whatever. And here's my title on my YouTube channel: #free Caribou, #she's innocent. My client is innocent, Your Honor. If anything, what I thought about it that was crazy was because she came out and was like, well, this is what happened. The security guard slammed me after my show in front of my dresser room for no reason. And that's the reason why I was acting so crazy and this and that. I have a lawyer and everything. That isn't what people were worried about, Caribou. People were worried about the things that you were saying to the officers before you got in the squad car, once you were in the squad car, and spitting at the officers. That's what people are concerned about. And that, I'm not going to lie to you, some of that stuff was a bit crazy. It was a bit out of pocket, 100%. However, in terms of the actual crime, my client is innocent. We will keep making this music, keep doing these streams, and wait until we get out of this 360 deal that Lil Yachty's got us in. Free Kara.
I mean, yeah, she's innocent of the crime, which she may be innocent of the crime that she got arrested for. But the public opinion of what Lil Yachty was saying about her, how she talked crazy to people and this, that, and the other. And you can even see from her stream how she be kind of spazzing on people sometimes. It just don't, it's not really a good look. She seemed as if she has, I don't know, I guess anger issues to an extent, whereas you're kind of like, you need to calm it down, because that video was just OD. Like, I feel her, she's upset in this moment, but she was really just going OD on that officer. So yeah, I really hated to see it, because I'm like, man, I'm a fan. And I think you always want especially, I guess this is like, Yachty's not really a full, I mean, he's a label head, but so I wouldn't call him like big brother, but you always want to see, like, the artist in the 360 deal win, and and I would love for her to release music and everything. But the fact of what he was saying about how you talk crazy to people and you're just a disrespectful person, this, that, and the other, she has not beat those allegations at all, but hey, I said she's innocent of what they accuse of her, Cobb County, but the actual public opinion, I'm like, this just wasn't a good look, man.
Abandoned houses, where the tape at? Yeah, no, I didn't watch the full video. I saw, I feel like y'all can relate to this too. Like, sometimes I'll read a caption to a video, and if I feel like I'm a cringe when I watch it, I don't want to put myself through that. That was one of those things where it was like, I saw like the first couple seconds and I was like, I don't know if I really want to watch this. But I did hear that she was, if anybody watching has ever seen the movie In Too Deep, there's a scene with LL Cool J and a pool stick. And I'm not going to elaborate any further. I did hear she was making those type of threats towards the officer, which is crazy. It's crazy for a man to say that. A woman saying that is even like, it's even wilder. You know what I mean? That's like this is a wild threat to go to as far as having something done to somebody. But I didn't even know until you said something, that this was in Cobb County.
Yeah, she was at the Battery.
Oh wow, she was super tweaking. Yeah, that's not even the police department you want to do that with. I mean, I don't know what police department you would want to say that, but especially Cobb is like, that's kind of wild. You know what I mean? But yeah, this is normal light skinned woman behavior. No, I'm joking. I'm playing around. To any of the light skin, if we have any light skinned women listening, we love you guys. And all other shades. Let me be clear. But yeah, I don't know. It did back up a little bit, like what you said, like what Mo was saying about what Yachty was saying as far as her talking crazy to people. I could see a little bit of what he was saying based off that.
Yeah. No, a thing with Kara, I'm sorry, Mo, with even when she first started rapping, she had like a rap sheet of like all the time she's arrested. Every time she's been arrested, it's the same thing, just fighting, battery and stuff like that. So I already knew that was like the type of timing that she was on and stuff like that, as a quote unquote crash out, or the modern definition of a crash out, as opposed to the original definition of a crash out. She said in the car was even worse, because out on the curb it was one thing, but the car was worse because she said she was talking and he said, "You're going to Cobb County." She said, "Oh, trust me, honey, I've been to Cobb County." and then she was like, "Ooh, and you white too? I got good lawyers. You done for." And I was like, ain't your dad white? But there was another thing of when Jelani said the thing of, when you read a caption and you cringe and you don't watch it, you pretty much just explain like the Amanda Seals kind of clips have been going viral all day today with the her versus 20 coons or her versus 100, whatever it was. And
Great segue.
yeah, man. I don't want to get too much into it, but if you guys want to say anything about that video, y'all could say it right now. But I tried to avoid all the clips. I did watch one when she was talking about the diaspora and was talking about Black Americans. I did watch that one.
The only clip that I saw was when it was her versus the black dude, and he was like, "Oh, it was about Harriet Tubman and how I guess he was talking about how Harriet Tubman was getting helped by white people, and then like she kind of rebuttal was like, I don't know. I didn't really get too deep into the clip. That was the only clip I saw, and I was just kind of like, I don't even want to go too deep into this because it was just a lot of yelling back and forth where they were talking over each other. So, but yeah, that was the only clip because it was like the caption was like, I can't believe what this man said about Harriet Tubman or something like that. And I was like, oh, they talking about Harriet? Let me see what this is about. But but yeah, I don't know. The thing about Amanda Seals, man, it's just every time you see her, she's arguing or she got something to like. Ain't nothing wrong with having something to say. Let me not say that, but it's just she's always arguing and just in the uproar about something, And I think that's the thing that be tiring for me, where it's like every clip I see of you, it feels like you're trying to go against people or just talking about how people don't like you, or now you're like, you're doing this whole debate against 20 different people. And from the clip that I saw, I do feel like the conservatives that they were arguing with, some of them, I feel they, it'd be very ignorant points. And I feel not only was it somewhat ignorant, but somewhat of like, I feel you could be a black conservative, but then there's a black conservative that is self-loathing, in a sense, like where they don't like, you could tell it's like you got something against black people underlining, and so that little clip that I saw, that's why I did somewhat get that, and I was like, that's unfortunate, but I don't know. I hate that for Amanda Seals, that she's taking on this role to be the person to always want to argue about things. And it's like, I'm happy to do it, like, let me be the one. And it's like, man, I feel your message could come across so much better if you wasn't always in this light. Because she do be saying some good stuff, and she's a very intelligent woman. But it'd be hard for it to come through when it's just in these formats,
Yeah, I'm not necessarily anti Amanda Seals, but I don't really like pay attention to much that she does outside of, I mean, Insecure was a long ass time ago at this point, so it ain't really too much she does now that I really pay attention to. But the thing about, and I saw people asking this on Twitter, and I just feel like it's a valid question as well, was like, who is this for? You know what I mean? Like who is, you know what I mean? Like who's supposed to be enjoying this? Like I don't, as a black person, I don't, it's like on one hand, I think I would enjoy it more. I probably would enjoy it if it was, instead of black conservatives, it was white conservatives. I don't really want to watch 20 black people cooling it up. And, shout out to Amanda from the clips I've seen, she was doing her thing. Like she was holding her own. She was making some valid points, but it's just kind of, for me personally, it's kind of disheartening to me to even, the fact that Joe was even able to get like, I hope we don't get demonetized for saying the word coon. I hope not. We shouldn't. Okay, Rashad shaking his head like we should be good. Yeah, the fact that you even had 20 humans of the coon variety that you could fit in that room was kind of just disheartening. And like Mo said, it was a lot of it seems like it came from a place of self-hate too. Like very rarely when people are black conservatives, I feel like it's very rarely like organic, not organic, but it's very rarely who they really are. A lot of times I just feel like it's them going against the black community because they want to feel different, or they feel like them having a different opinion makes them more intelligent. It's not really based on any real beliefs or anything like that. At least from my personal vantage point, that's how I feel. Like, I don't really think that. I think there's very few black conservatives out here that's really like nuanced and can have a real back conversation. Their honest beliefs and why they're conservatives. You know what I mean?
For me, I do want to say this before Mo goes again. Amanda Seales always been fine to me, like since a kid, because she was on VH1. I don't know if y'all remember that when we was kids. She was on VH1 on them like countdown shows as DJ Amanda Seales, and like so I always thought she was fine. And then for her to like kind of be fine when I was a kid, grow up, and she's still single, like despite being in multiple like public relationships and stuff like that. I didn't realize what was going on until the insecure thing. That Mo he made me hip to it. He was like, yeah, like the whole cast hates her. I was like, what? And then he broke it down for me, and I feel like ever since then, I felt like the public, the general public, kind of did a 180 on Amanda Seales and where they stood with her. So, like this clip says, it's never been a person more ready to argue against 15 people than Amanda Seales. I thought this was like the perfect tweet, just because of like how the black community looks at Amanda Seales and stuff like that. She needed this in a way that like helped her career. In the way that Jelani said, who does this help or what does this do? It helped Amanda Seales, helped their image. She was kind of back against the ropes really from the black community being like the most hated or whatever. And people shut her out. And like Mo said, she says intelligent things. I believe she has like a show and stuff like that she does on a regular basis online. And like, there's a large group of people who know who Amanda Seales is, but will never listen to that show just because of everything that comes with the name Amanda Seales. And so I think that this was great for her to get back on a lot of people's good side and stuff like that. It was great for her PR. However, this is happening at the same time where black people are literally being treated like caged animals for filming the police in Washington, D.C. I was just looking at some of the stuff last night and I was like, wow, this isn't, because Afeni here, she's a DC activist. And when I seen the Free Afeni kind of thing on social media, I thought it was, because she had Free Palestine in her bio, I thought it was like the Chris Smalls thing where she went over to Palestine to give them, materials. And then the Israeli people held her captive and then, held her captive for a couple days before releasing her back to America. That was not the case. She was just walking around Washington, D.C. against the cops that were out for the teenagers and the black people in general committing crimes, committing any type of petty crime, so they could arrest them and put them away to clean up Washington, D.C. by the request of Donald Trump, the president of the United States. And she was literally recording the police. They asked for identification. She wouldn't give her ID up. And they end up tackling her and macing her in the face and taking her to jail. And she spent the night in jail before being freed the next day. Another guy in DC following the police with his phone, recording them. He was calling them pigs. They ended up picking him up, slamming him down to the ground, forcibly arresting him and taking him to jail. There's another video in DC of police just strolling along people's neighborhoods, coming on someone's porch, asking the dude if he was smoking marijuana because it smelled like marijuana. He said, I thought it was legal. He said it's legal to smoke inside the house, but you can't smoke it out in public. And, it is all these things. And he's like, I just want to let you know, bro, like what's going on. And they're doing, like I said, arresting black people for all the small things. Dudes getting arrested for not having his gun license on him with having a gun on. And not just that, they're placing their photos on social media on the ICE page, on the CIA page and everything like that. These black people's photos and before they're even given due process or a trial or anything, just like how they were doing with the Mexicans and the illegal immigrants when they got arrested by ICE, and they were putting up their photos on social media and being like poking fun at it, mocking it. They're doing the same thing to black people. This is going on right now in America. And what are we talking about? We're arguing on a YouTube video by Jubilee, by white people. So white people are profiting off of black people arguing against black people about what? Like, what is this going to solve? What Mo said. If these people hate themselves already, there's nothing you can say to like, oh, I guess I do hate myself. Man, Snow Queen, Black Queens forever, Snow Bunnies, like that's not gonna happen. So it's like, what is being accomplished here? The only thing that's being accomplished is us, the viewers, are entertained by watching a smart black person just, humiliate dumb black people, and we talk about what they're talking about. What we really need to be focusing on and talking about and helping out are the activists in DC and everything, because that's within the black community, and that's going on right now in Black America. Go ahead, Mom. My
bad. Oh, you good? Real quick, I was looking at the photo. You think when they took the photo, they was like, "All right, everybody, coon on 3. 1, 2, 3." But no, like I definitely agree, man. Yeah, I think you brought up some very valid points with, how this at this time, where it's kind of, black versus, I don't know, I guess like it's kind of a black on black thing, where I think them going against each other, it doesn't really, like you said, it helps Amanda Seales. And it realistically, she wasn't going to open nobody's eyes to nothing, especially when it's a 1 versus 20. When Jubilee does these, I've seen some that's been some real crazy ones where they like, I'll never watch the full clips of them, but I've seen some where, on like Twitter or something. And it's always the people who do these, they're so set in their ways. That's why they're on this show. Like, it's never anybody ever being like, you know what? You kind of right about that one. Like, I saw this one guy literally talk with this guy about him being, I guess, I think fascist. And he was just like, I mean, yeah, like, he broke it down. He was like, yeah, you're a fascist. And he was just like, you know what? Yeah, I am. And I was like, oh, well, okay. It was like, and the dude was just like, well, all right, well, you're saying this for millions of people. He was like, yeah, and I'm glad they're all seeing it, and so this stuff don't really ever, I don't know, it's good content to if you want to just see people argue, but it don't really help nobody. Nobody's mind is ever really changed. Because if you're so far into that thinking to where you even get invited onto the show, you're ready to kind of die for what you believe in at that point, So, but you brought up an interesting point with the Amanda Seales being, fine all these years and being single. Do y'all look at certain women, like, do y'all look at women over a certain age and like see them still single and be like, it got to be for like it's a reason, or is it maybe, I don't know. Like, what are y'all thoughts on that? 'Cause I think about who was it for the longest, because Halle Berry got a man now. But, for the longest, she used to have a husband and she was single. It's like, oh, she could keep a man and stuff. And, I remember somebody had said that. And when I was younger, I was like, I don't know. But then as I've gotten older, you look at certain women, I'm like, they really might be crazy, or, okay, maybe not crazy, but, there's, I don't know what the issue is, but they may be the problem, I guess, what are y'all thoughts on that?
I'll say for me personally, I don't, especially I would say just in this era. Like, I feel like Halle Berry used to catch those comments more so because the era she came up in, I feel like marriage was more. I feel like marriage was more of a something that people strive for, like especially people in like their 20s and 30s. Like, I don't think this generation, 30 and up, I don't think like 30. There used to be a time when, like, I think about I might have said this before, but like first couple seasons of, let me look it up real quick. I know the first couple seasons of the Cosby Show, Felicia Rashad was in her early 30s, but if you watch the show, it almost seemed like she was, yeah. So she was born in 1948. So I think the first season of the Cosby Show came out like 1984. She was like 36 at the time. But if you watch the show, she felt like she was 50 years old because back then it was just more, it was more standard. By the time you like 25, 26 at the latest, you was like married, or you along those lines. Like, you was kind of, at least by 30 back then, you were supposed to be married, the way society kind of handled things. I just think now, um and I think it's a good thing. I don't think we put that pressure on women as much, or just people in general. Like, nobody, like, we talked before about, like, do you potentially see yourself getting married, or when? Like, I'm sure down the line it'll happen for all of us at some point, but it's not. I don't think any of us are rushing, or like, feel any pressure to get married anytime soon. I think it's the same thing with women. I just think it's not. It's just not as big of a deal. Like, you meet or for me personally, like, you meet a woman in her mid-30s that's single. It's just like she doing her right now. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think so much in this era, but yeah, I know growing up you would always hear those jokes about Halle Berry, like, not being able to keep a man. It became a thing where stand-up comedians would all, like, I feel like a bunch of stand-up comedians made that same joke about her not being able to keep a man at some point. But that was the time. It was a different era when being married was like more of a societal norm than what it is now.
I remember Kim Kardashian was hosting Saturday Night Live, like, I don't know how long ago that was, maybe like 4 years ago. And she was talking about, in our monologue, divorcing Kanye West. And she said, I was married to the most successful musician, American musician of the last 25 years, and the richest black man on the planet in history, and this and that, da 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 da. So why would I divorce him? It's obvious, his personality. And everybody laughed, and that was a joke. And I don't know, man. I say all that to say, like, I think it still holds some weight because, but it's funny though, because it's not equal across the field. Example: Regina Hall or Regina. Regina Hall, the fine one, right? Well, both of them is fine. Shout out Regina King. Regina Hall. I don't look at Regina Hall like something's wrong with her. Tracy Ellis Ross. I look at Tracy Ellis Ross like, okay, what's up with Tracy Ellis Ross? Because Tracy Ellis Ross, everybody wants Tracy Ellis Ross. And everybody wanted Tracy Ellis Ross since 2001. It's 2025. It's been a quarter century. Everybody wants you. You ain't been married yet. She went on who was it? It was Jimmy Kimmel. But Jimmy Kimmel wasn't there. It was Nicole Byer. She was doing the guest hosting and stuff. And she was interviewing her. And she said, I'm trying to find my love out here. And I was like, dang. Like, this is the first time I heard Tracy Ellis Ross say she was open to marriage. Like, for the rest of her life, rest of her career, she was like, no, I'm not really into it, not rushing it. I don't care. I'm living my best life. Now I hear her saying, like, she's open to marriage and she's been dating. She said she went on a really bad date. And then she said, can you explain it? She said, yeah, we went out for drinks. And then when his drink came out, he took out his phone, he set it up on the glass, and he started watching a basketball game. And so then I tried to, like, kind of be in with them and ask him who was playing and what was going on. And then he was kind of acting like I was annoying him and getting in the way of watching his basketball game. So I kind of, like, sat back, and then I ended up leaving early. And when I heard that, I was like, dang, that sounds like something I would do. And then I was like, man, I have some things that I probably need to work on for real. But that was a side note. The main bar, getting back to the main point, it's crazy how I look at Regina Hall and think, like, nothing's wrong with her. She's just, like, living her best life as a fine lady. And Tracy Ellis Ross, I look at her like, what's wrong?
I think the difference between the two is as Tracy Ellis Ross has had her publicly talking about wanting her like dating life. She publicly talks about it. And I think that's where like Regina Hall, for all we know, she could have been in a relationship for the last 10 years. She's just very private about her life, which we don't know. And I think that's where in that instance, it is kind of like you don't know exactly. She aged like fine wine, bro. But I definitely feel, yeah, that might be the reason why you don't really look at it like that with her. But I don't know. I think like I agree with you said, Jelani, about at our age, around like 30s, maybe early 40s, But then once you get to like mid 40s to 50s, and it's like I ain't saying you got to have like if you maybe you was in a relationship and then you divorced, like because maybe your husband cheated or something, and now you're out here living your best life. There's certain instances where it's like you're gonna look at it differently. But then there's those women who, like, I ain't gonna lie, I look at J-Lo. J-Lo's the problem. I don't know what she's doing, but I don't know. It's only one common denominator. That's how that's how I be looking, And that might be maybe she's just not picking the right ones, maybe. But then it's just like when you see these relationships that always kind of go sour constantly over and over again, it's like, I don't know. But yeah, I think it's kind of crazy, But actresses though, especially like actresses, I think people who are in the limelight, actresses are kind of just quirky and kind of for I wouldn't say weird, but like, and I don't want to say crazy either, but they be out there, like people who like that inspiration to want to get into different roles and all that stuff. It takes a certain mindset, and there's nothing wrong with it, where because I had an ex who had ambitions to be an actress, and I've dealt with different people who are like within acting, like within the industry of acting and whatnot, and I can see that they're very outgoing and whatnot. But for some people that can be a lot. Just as I said, wanting to play those different roles, they enjoy doing that, like at home as well. Now on some like kinky stuff, but just genuinely like you may walk in, they'll be like, like, hey, how you doing today? You'll be like, the hell, like it is. You never know what they might be on that. So, and I think for some that could also be a thing. And I can see with Tracy Ellis Ross, she seemed like a very kind of kooky person, But I mean, shoot, I ain't gonna lie, like I'll overlook it, Give me
100%. Tracy Ellis Ross.
Yeah, I was about to say she could be as quirky as she wanted to be around me. Yeah, I'm not tripping.
Yeah. Man, dude, who was that said they like that was Tracy Ellis Ross on Michelle Obama podcast? Tracy, I'm young, I'm impressionable. You can manipulate me. All of the above, you know what I'm saying? Like, I do not care. I low self-worth 100%, unless you hate that, unless you like high self-worth and mad confidence, and I could be mad confident, all of the above. But I am young and impressionable, but I'm also an adult. So hey,
use me.
Nah, that episode of Girlfriends when she had I don't know if you remember, but the episode when she had the green dress on, it was like it's a particular scene for any of my fellow freak bulls at home that grew up watching Girlfriends. You know exactly which episode I'm talking about. But yeah, that episode changed me as a kid. Yeah, it's that's exactly You was quick when you quick on your feet, Rashad. For the listeners at home, he pulled the picture up of her wearing a dress. But it's a scene where they zoom in on the, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. But yeah, I think a big part of it too is that like we don't like we understand it when it comes to men as far as like male celebrities having options. Like we don't really put like pressure on men to get married like that, unless you like Kevin Durant. But then they'll make fun of him for not having a family. But for the most part, if you're a male celebrity and you don't have a family, we don't really trip. I feel like it's like we moving into an era now where it's like I think women understand that they have options now. Like especially if you're a celebrity woman, like um it's not really like you got to settle down with the first guy that's giving you attention, or just because you, at least I feel like they feel like because they not, or just because they're in their 30s or 40s or 50s. Um, like I was saying earlier, I just don't think they feel that pressure now. And it's like you have more access to you have more access to women have more access to men that they might want than before. So it's um like back in the day, if you're 40 years old and a man asks you on a date, even if you don't necessarily, you might not find him super attractive, but you might just give him a chance because it's like, you know what, I'm 40, the clock is ticking. I'm just give this dude a chance just because it is what it is. Nowadays, it's like if you don't, if you meet a dude in public and he approaches you and you don't like him, you just turn him down and you go home and you open up your Instagram, it's still dudes DMing you, it's still dudes on Twitter DMing you. So it's like that's just normal women. So imagine being a celebrity woman. I just think they have the ability to be more picky and choosy than they probably could be before.
You know it's gonna be crazy. About 10 years from now, the generation of 20-year-olds, when they get the rude awakening of what being in your 30s is really like. Cause I think when you talking about the Kevin Durant thing, you see a lot of comments, and that one streamer, was it Valkyrie or
Yeah.
yeah, was where people were talking about her age, and you see a lot of comments where
Senna and Extra Emily too.
yeah, but you'll see a lot of comments just on random stuff like this is a 35-year-old man, by the way. This is a 40-year-old woman, like it'd be little stuff like that. And you always see it's the people who are like usually probably about like 25 under, that are making these comments. And it's like they have this idea of when you're 30 that life is supposed to be a certain way, which I don't know why, because I feel it's not like they grew up looking at 30, like the 30-year-olds that they're seeing now are the ones who just, everybody just trying to figure all this stuff out. It's like the ages for everything have been changed. Where, as you said, like at one point it was like you should be married by 30. Like, how are you not? You don't have kids yet, this, that, and the other. And it's like that's perfectly fine, But I think it's going to be interesting to see as they get older, as once they hit that point, they're going to realize like, yo, I'm actually this age and it's nothing like I thought. And I will say it's going to be interesting, especially because a lot of these the kids in their 20s and stuff, they do not have the mental capacity to deal with stuff like a lot of older generations have been able to, So I think, therapy is going to be very much needed for this younger generation. It's needed now, just to be honest. But when they hit 30 and then that wake up call of like, this is life at 30 hits them, is going to be real, But yeah, because as I said, I see a lot of those comments and it'd be like, oh, this is X, Y, and Z, this is X, Y, and Z, and and it's be like, man, like y'all don't understand this, things are, I don't know, people just be living, man. You just wake up, it's like you going through your life and you wake up one day and now you're 30, now everything's gonna be figured out. Like, they be having those I always see it on like threads. But they'll be like, it's okay to be, lost at 28, broke at 30, find yourself again at 33, be established by 36, whatever, like stuff like that. But it's like stuff like that is real because I feel like as people are reaching their 30s, a lot of people, it is somewhat affecting our generation as well. But then I think a lot of us it's a little easier for us to come to terms with because you see like, oh, okay, everybody around me is just like that. And we didn't, and I don't know, I didn't really have much of an expectation of where my life would be at 30. Not saying I didn't, like, I knew I was gonna make it to 30, God willing. But but just for real, like I didn't really have an idea of me for me personally, where like when I was a kid, I was like, when I'm 30, I'm gonna be doing X, Y, and Z. You know, I did kind of. I will say one I did have in my mind. I was like, I thought at one point when I was younger, I was like, I'm gonna get a job where I work in the office, and I'm gonna be working in the office, and I'll think about like having like my dating life, I'm gonna be the after hours, like stuff like that. You see it on the movies and stuff. And then I got older. I was like, I don't really want to work in the office. And just life just kind of went a different way. Whereas like that whole mingling at the happy hour and stuff like that, it just didn't not the route that I took.
I don't even know now working an office job when I have to go into the office. I don't know how you have the energy to go to a bar and socialize after 8 hours of sitting in the office, socialize from like, because they be there from like 5 to 10 to the night games in. And if you're on the East Coast and the game started at 7, you're there from 5 to 7 just talking, chatting with everybody. At 7, the game comes on, you stay to the end of the game at 10 p.m., then you go home. I don't know how you have the energy to do that for 5 more hours after sitting in the office. When I'm in the office, about 3:30, I'm ready to go home. Really, at 2 p.m., the wall hits me. I'm hungry. Well, at that time, I probably most times already eating lunch. I'm fighting off sleep, bro. I'm fighting off the post nap lunch, the post lunch nap. I'm fighting off, the itis. I'm fighting off all that stuff. Waking up early to get ready to get to the office on time in the morning. Like I'm fighting off all of that at 2 p.m. I'm just counting down to 5 p.m., especially that last hour. Oh man, put a turkey in me. I'm done. I mean, put a fork in me. I'm done. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how do you have, or according to the TV shows like Cheers and stuff, the energy to socialize and drink and speak to people for 5 more hours after you just did it for 8? That's not realistic to me.
It made more sense before social media though, because they didn't like imagine if you getting off work and you single or you don't like your spouse and you don't have like no Twitter or nothing to distract you and no social media at all. It kind of makes sense for you to go home and I mean for you to get off work and go straight to the bar versus now where you can go home and pick up some alcohol on the way home and you got all the entertainment that you want right at your hands. You know what I mean? Back then I feel like that's just an underrated. Like we were talking about the how the people in their early 20s they might make the jokes about people in their late 20s, early 30s not starting a family. But I just think it's funny because we talked about this maybe like a few episodes before. But like majority or the studies show like majority of the guys in their early 20s have never approached a woman in real life. So like imagine being in your 20s, like, yeah, you people in your late 20s, early 30s, you need to go start a family. How are you going to start a family if you don't approach women? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't every now and then you have dude who might meet his sometimes like they'll meet their girl on social media or whatever. But like if y'all don't even have the social skills to go outside and actually talk to a woman and you 22, 23, what makes you think by the time you're 30, you're going to have your wife? Like, realistically, you're going to be one of those 30-year-olds that is not married either. But I just brought that up because I was just thinking about, like, as human beings, we just don't socialize in person as much as we used to. Like, the idea of going to the bar after work or even like we was talking about the women getting older, going on dates. Like, it's just we don't socialize in person as often as we used to. Nowadays, it's like you meet people a lot of times on social media, and then if you think they're cool enough, you might give them a chance to meet you in person. But just spontaneously meeting people in person doesn't happen as often as it used to.
Facts. Yeah, no, I think that's a good point because, yeah, back when back in the old days before social media, all the people that you talk to, if you talk to anybody in your office, was the people at your office. And then when you get off, you like, to have some type of social interaction, you go to your local bar and, you want to go, everybody knows your name. But
Cheers.
man, I ain't gonna lie, like I don't know. I don't see myself ever being able to go to like a local spot that often where I'm just everybody in there just like, oh Mo, it's like I don't know. For me that just feels, especially like a bar or something, like there's this one spot by when I used to live in Marietta that I used to go to like when I would get off of work and stuff. And I usually stop there, grab some food and stuff, but I just kind of be just chilling so I can get my food, because working as a server, you're getting off at like 12, 1 o'clock. So ain't really much open but a bar to grab food and stuff. And, and like I'll say there, I became kind of cool with like the bartender, but where it's just like everybody in there, like, socializing, like, hey, what's up, Tommy? Bobby, yay, like it ain't never been on that. And I don't know, it just feels, I don't know, I just don't want to be that like that locked into a place, But and I don't know, but but as I said, like you see a lot of older people like that because they, you ain't really got nobody at the crib, to go talk to and stuff. So it does help, and social media, especially for older people, they be on there, but it don't be the same, where we're a social media generation. So like our feeds and how we interact with each other, like I got people that I send memes to all the time and this, that, and the other, where they just go and check up, to see, oh, how's Barbara doing? Like, oh, okay, she's good. She did a little post, but it's crazy. I feel it's these days are different, man.
Yeah, if Cheers came out in 2025, it would be set at like a hookah lounge or something like that.
Facts.
It wouldn't be like a local community bar.
I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I have to say this. I have to admit it. I am definitely a regular at a couple places for sure. Like I walk in and it's yo. I definitely have a couple of those places, and it feels good. It feels like community. It feels like I'm like embedded in. You know what I'm saying? Like, because when I first went there, I say like I'll give an example. Tassili's in Atlanta, right on the West End. So I first used to go into Tassili's by myself. I used to go all the time with my pop, but just a kid tagging along with my dad, never spoke. But when I went, started going by myself as an adult, I would see like the way that the workers interact with some of the regulars. And they'd be like, yeah, man, everything's good. And it felt like they had this inside joke or community that I was like, dang, I want to know what they're talking about. Like, I want to fit in. The more I kept going, it became a yo, good to see you again. Like when you moved to New Orleans, like it was a whole like they knew my life and stuff. And I was like, bro, like it feels good to go somewhere in the community know you. You know what I'm saying? So I am definitely a regular at a couple places, and I like being a regular at places. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, and I want to say this. I don't want to say this. Out of town, the last couple times I was in LA, and a couple months ago, and out there, I went to a bar just to eat one night. And I was at the bar, and the bartender was talking to me. He had like the best social skills. Like he was talking to everybody in there, and he was just so personal with everyone. And then he had a couple regulars out there, and he was like, "Oh, what's up, Jerry? And he'd be like, "Need anything else for shot?" I'm like, "How do you remember everybody's name? Like I just met you." He's like, "Oh, I just give myself a trick to remember." And I was like, "That's crazy. Like salute to you, brother." Because I forgot that man's name himself. Like, he was cool, everything like that in LA. I felt like I had a friend. And then what was another time in Cleveland? Oh no, in Ohio. I was in Akron. Shouts out to LeBron. And I went to a little vegan spot, vegan restaurant. It was a sit down, and they had a bar up there. And we talking to the hostess, but we also was like, it's one dude sitting up there at the bar. There's another dude sitting in the booth waiting for his food to go, and then I'm sitting at another booth waiting for my food to dine in. And by the time the dude got his food to go or whatever to leave, we all had a full conversation with the waitress and stuff. And I felt like I was from Akron for a second. You know what I mean? So I just like that stuff. I ain't gonna lie. I'm a sucker for it. I'm a bit of an old head when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah, I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. What you finna say, Jelani?
Oh yeah, no, I was gonna say bartenders nowadays, they definitely know how to, like, if you're a bartender, I mean, I feel like it's probably always been like this, but now, yeah, if you're a bartender, you definitely gotta have great conversation skills. It can't just be like you know how to make good drinks or whatever. Like I feel like that's a big, especially I feel like most bartenders now are women, so like you almost gotta. It's like I said, it's like a skill set, like being able to charm the customer, but not be like you got to charm the customer, but also let them know that you're not like flirting with them. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if you're a woman at least, and I feel like it's a thin line between that, because if you like if you're a regular at the bars where it's a woman bartender, like if you're not a creep, that's cool. If you're not a creep, you're just a regular dude showing up and you getting your drinks, you know, have a normal conversation, that's cool. But you don't want to be in there moving like homie from the Players Club with the glasses that was that was standing outside of her door or whatever. Like you don't want to be that guy. So yeah, it's I feel like it could be a slippery slope going to the bar on a regular basis. But some people just go to the bar and get like wings, and they might get like one drink and they can control themselves and they go home. They're not alcoholics or nothing like that. So if you know how to control yourself, it could be a healthy thing. I don't think there's anything wrong with being a regular somewhere. Yeah, that's homie right there. It's a scary guy. For the people watching at home, if you've never seen Players Club, just type in Players Club glasses. I'm sure he'll pop up. But yeah, he's a. Speaking of not to get sidetracked, I've been thinking about this a lot lately. Like a lot of the black movies that we watched growing up that we look as being like black classics that we'll just watch over and over. Like,
are we about to go Ari Lennox?
No, we're not going full Ari. Shout out to her though. No, but a lot of the movies are like very traumatic. Like I feel like we numb to the black community, like how traumatic a lot of our classics. Like there's a whole scene, like when you think of the movie Friday, you think about it as like this funny movie, like coming of age tale. Like it's, you mostly have positive memories when you think of the movie Friday. Like these dudes almost lost their life like in the middle of the movie. Like they really got their whole front porch sprayed up just casually. You know what I'm saying? Had to hide in the bed of a truck. Like just, I don't know. That's just something I've been thinking about lately, is how violent a lot of black movies are, or how even a movie like The Wood. Like The Wood is one of my favorite 90s movies because nobody dies, but at the same time, it's a whole scene where they in the store and the store gets stuck up. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like every black movie from that era had to have, even if it was wholesome, had to have like some sort of element of violence to it.
That's real. That's how it was in the hood.
Facts. Growing up, for me growing up in the mean streets of Marietta, I know how it gets sometimes.
Remember that Jaylen Brown thing?
Yeah.
Bro, cringe. Speaking of cringeworthy.
Yeah, facts. But I also want to say, but before we even move forward, Sheezy, the best tweeter, bro. If y'all don't follow Sheezy, she's the best tweeter. She's like made for Twitter. I have no idea, but people like her, she don't have no videos or nothing like that of her speaking and stuff like that, doing videos. I'm like, I don't know if you're really funny. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you're just funny on Twitter, I don't know if you're really funny. Jelani, as a former Twitter comedian yourself, what do you have to say about that with Sheezy? Like, because she's perfect on Twitter. Like, she's funny. She listens to underground hip hop. She listens to the underground grungy hip hop, all that. She's pretty, all of the things. She watched sports. So it's just like, you would be bigger if you had like a podcast. If you put all of this in front of a camera and you just spoke and stuff like that. But she don't have none of that on the internet. And I think it's because she might not be funny. What do you have to say about that, Jelani?
I've seen her come across my timeline. a few different times. Every time I've seen her, it's like an entry tweet, or I've seen her even talking about wrestling on my timeline before, which is it's not that I still keep up with wrestling. I'm not watching like Monday Night Raw every week or nothing like that, but I do like loosely keep up with what's going on in wrestling. So that's kind of cool. I appreciate you putting a little extra on it, calling me a former Twitter comedian, because I definitely was very niche. It was definitely like a very local Cobb County thing around that time. But on my old account, I definitely want to salute you for the recognition. Yeah, no, she like I said, I've seen her come across my timeline before. She is funny. I feel like that's one of the cool things about Twitter is that it kind of debunks those stereotypes of like pretty women don't watch sports, or pretty women don't watch this or listen to that. Like, I've had women that I follow that listen to like the most grimy, thugged out music you would never imagine. You know what I mean? If you just saw them walking down the street. So I think that's a really cool part of Twitter is definitely getting to see like beautiful women, not just for their looks, but just getting to see like what y'all really into. And it's all different types of women. It's all different and all different types of stuff that you wouldn't even imagine.
I want to say real quick. So I do, just to clarify, I think for me personally, I think it's nothing wrong with being a regular, and it's not I was saying anything wrong with it.
Just no, I ain't mean to imply that at all when I was saying no.
No, I was just saying like with and as he was talking, but I think for me personally, just a lot of times when, especially me working at restaurants and stuff, I was like, and then the forming the community thing, I do think that is a dope thing, you know? I think for me, it's just like a lot of times when I be going to restaurants, like I'm trying to get my food and dip, you know? And I think that's where
I hear that 100%.
Yeah, you know, but I do feel like there's nothing wrong with it. Like, I wish there was like, there's like a taco spot by my crib now, but I don't really want to go there. But because it's straight. But yeah, but I feel like, and especially in Dallas, it depends on where you at. When I lived, I'll say when I used to work at Nobu, like there was this one spot that we used to all go to all the time. That was kind of like an industry place where, you know, a lot of people who got off around that area, they would go to afterwards. And, you know, it's like little places like that where you'll go and we'll frequent, and, you know, you become cool with the bartenders and stuff like that. And that's cool, you know. And I think down in Atlanta, it's a little bit better. I think, you know, in Dallas, and then even like when I was like living by the Big Chicken, a lot of those spots that I would go to, you know, like unless you go on the Harold's, you know, it's full of like older people, you know, or just white people in general, you know. And random story. I went to this one spot on the square. I think it's called like McCracken's, something like that. Like it's like an Irish pub on the square.
That sounds about white.
Yeah,
Merida Square and Prince. Oh, they do have that one black spot there, but yeah, for the most part, it's gonna be white on Merida Square.
Yeah, it was this Irish pub. This before the black spot, that Black House, before Black House was over there. And so I stopped, you know, like wanted to grab some food one night. And I was like, I want something different. And as I said, this when I lived by the Big Chicken, so I was like right in the area. And so I stopped there. And so I go in, you know, and it was extremely white. Then I see somebody we went to high school with. Big dude that and to the listeners, we had said before we're gonna, like, you know, not make it all Super Marietta and stuff. But big dude, what's his name? I don't want to say his full name. He played trombone. I think not trombone, but tuba something. Justin. Like,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. My dog.
Yeah.
Is this it, by the way?
Yes, I believe so.
This is McCracken's.
Yeah.
Okay.
First and only time there.
Yeah, but my boy.
Yeah, I saw him there, and he was like security, and it just threw me off because, like, I was, you know, it's a sea of white faces, and then I see him. He was like, "Yo, Maurice," and I was like, "Yo, what's up?" Like, he was like, "Hey, what's good, bro?" Blah, blah. And so Like, we was talking, he was like, yeah, man, like, hey, like, I'm about to get off. Yo, like, you want to do a shot, bro? I was like, yeah, we do a shot together. He was like, all right, bet. All right, I'm going to get the bartender to hook us up. Hold on real quick. I got to go handle something real quick. And then he goes to the back. And then, like, it was somebody by the bathroom doing something, like, that they wasn't supposed to, I guess. And he had to go handle that. And then that took too long. And then I was just like, all right, well, I guess I'm going to just see my boy when I see him. Because I was like, at this point, I have my food and everything. I'm ready to go. It's like 1:30 in the morning. But yeah, but it was just super random. Like, I was like, dang, like, what's up, man?
Hometown too small, bro. That's why you got to move out, bro. At least, at the very least, in Atlanta, in Metro Atlanta, I feel like this is the part I love about Atlanta. Like, you can be from the suburbs, and then when you grow up, move to the city, and then like you still see people you grew up with, but it's not as often. In your hometown, oh my goodness, bro, you can't go to Walmart without seeing someone you ain't go to high school with.
Bruh, for real.
Yeah, I know we said we're not gonna make it too local. I'm definitely like by summer 2026. Like I don't want to move out of the Metro Atlanta area, but I do low key want to get like closer to the city just because I don't know. I just want to be able to like I like going on walks, but like being where we from. Like if you just walking down the street, people look at you like you crazy. Like you got something, like is something wrong with you right now? I don't know. I feel like in the city it's more it's more normalized to be like just walking around or anything like that. I don't want to have to be like walking around and out because I've had situations where man, I'll go to just get like some wings or something real quick and I'll run into somebody and now it's like it's unnecessarily awkward. Like we gotta fake like we really want to have this conversation. It used to be, we don't do this now. I feel like we passed this point now, but it was a time in like my early 20s when we wasn't that far out of high school where you run into somebody from high school and it's like, yo, let me get your numbers. We could link up. And we never link up. We never.
And black people love that, but that only happens to me with black people. I was like, why are you asking for my number? Like, I'm not gonna text you. I didn't text you before. I'm not gonna text you now. Like,
yeah, we're not hanging out. Unless we would have to be. It would either have to be a situation where I ran into like a pretty girl or something like that, or you was like really, really, really. It would have to be like somebody like y'all, where we was like really, really, really the homies, like really close in high school. Other than that, it's like, bro, what are we? We're cool just being Facebook friends. Like, I don't need to get your number to, But I think we most of the people that's in our age, I think at this point is past that. Like, we're not even pretending to do that no more at this point. At least I hope not.
No, facts.
I was never a big fan of it. Go ahead, Mo.
No, I'm gonna say that'd be the most annoying thing. But I think now, like if anything, especially with social media, is like if we don't already follow each other on the gram, like you could take my Instagram. That's about it. I'm not finna exchange numbers. I'm not finna text you. We're not finna link. Like, let's be real. That's the one thing. I was never one of those people that once we graduated high school and then you see somebody that you went to high school with, oh, bro, we got a link, like just because we used to see each other in the hallways. It's like, bro, we weren't friends, like it's okay. We weren't friends. And I think, for me personally, but I do understand for some people after they got out of high school, you're not surrounded by all the people that you used to be with, so you don't have as many friends. Like
adulthood.
Yeah, like for me, like I've always had my like group of people that I've rocked with, and so that's why like I never felt the need to really want to do that. So and that's a blessing, honestly. But as I said, like a lot of people, they'll hit you up, be like, "Yo, like yeah, like." Like we gotta, kick it sometime. We gotta do this, we gotta do that. It's like, you fake it, like, yeah, I bet. Yeah, I'm gonna take down your number. Like, bruh, I'm not gonna use it, man.
The only time I do that is with people who want to do like media. Like, what I'm saying, something kind of similar to what I do. In that case, like, yes, I'm down. Like, hit me anytime you need me with a question or whatever. Like, you could do it. Because I saw somebody today, they were talking about their job and they want to do media and stuff like that. And they were like, man, my job is just so pointless. I don't have any purpose here. It's not purpose filled at all. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, feel like I'm just wasting time away. I'm like, today in the age of the internet, you can literally create, you know what I'm saying? It's going to take sacrifice and less sleep and things of that sort, but you can create your reality. Uh, you know, I I even experience it now because, even though I still work in media, my job now is much more traditional and kind of specified like it used to be of just you work here at this outlet, it's sports, you cover these sports, you cover these sports in this market, and this paper is all about this market. So it's like doing that, I can't do a lot of the stuff that I used to do at my old job of like interviewing all the fun people and doing all the fun events and getting thrown out into the mix. So now, shoot, what do I do when I'm not on the clock? I just create the life that I, you know what I'm saying, that I like. I like interviewing the artists and the underground rappers and the actors, actresses. I like going to events by myself and figuring out a way to finesse an interview the same way I finesse an interview when I was working for company. So you can create literally the life that you want thanks to the internet if you want to do something like media or something like that. Um and yeah. I say all that to say if anyone from high school, from my high school or whatever wants something, I'm always down to like, yo, yes, I'll help you. I'll give you tips and stuff because there's no secret code to it, bro. Like with the internet, you can just start up a podcast right now, start up a YouTube channel. Shouts out to I don't know her YouTube name and stuff like that. I would have said her government, but her YouTube is definitely not her government. But shouts out to her. Like she talked to me. We talked at a party, and ever since then, she's been consistent on YouTube, uploading episodes and stuff. So shouts out to all the people that's getting it in motion and everything like that. While we are on this topic, Ozzy Osbourne, I would say his full government because he is a public figure. He's big on TikTok, him and his family, the Osbourne family. He posted this on Facebook and I commented on it, all the names I could think of, and people liked it. So, and he said, I was joking, by the way. And I responded to him and I said, bro, you're pretty famous. And he said, thank you, sir. And I don't know if he didn't realize that he's famous or like, but Ozzy's famous. Ozzy and his family, they're famous. They're all over TikTok. They were on the Glorilla music video and stuff like that. So he said, me and Dansby and put the laughing emojis. I said, Andy Erica and Tony Chanel. I would have said his real name, but we in a public place. And Lauren Simmons, Anthony Jennings, and the One Foot God and Pleasure. And so a lot of people liked it, including the One Foot God himself. Shouts out to Jordan Sutherland. If you know, you know. I wanted to know if there were any names that you wanted to mention from this list that I forgot, or yeah.
This is the super local segment of the show.
But these are famous people.
Yeah, no. As far as people we went to high school with, I think you named all the main that you put Dansby on there, right?
Ozzy did. So
yeah,
the post was, who's the most famous person to come out of your high school?
Oh yeah, me and Dansby. Yeah. No, I'm trying to think who came before us. That would be, I can't think of it.
Yeah. I didn't take in that part of like to come out of your high school. I was just like who you went to high school with.
Yeah, no, as far as who we went to high school with, I think that's a good amount of people that ended up either going pro or we got a rapper there that's thriving, that's doing his thing. Lauren Simmons, first black woman. I think she was the first black woman on Wall Street.
Yeah.
So we got some for us to have all been in high school at the same time. I mean, like that's a lot of talent at one time. You know what I'm saying? Now, if he expanded it to who was in high school in the same county as us at the same time, then that would be a crazy list. As far as
that list would be like 50 people. It would be like Lil Yachty would be on that list.
Lil Yachty would be on that list as far as he was in high school in Cobb at the same time as us. But yeah, as far as who we went to high school with, that's a real solid list.
Any words, Mo?
Nah, I think forgot Rashad.
No, see, the thing is, I can go to Walmart. Like I can go grocery shopping. I can like Mo, you've been out in the city with me. Like I can go to the cat petting museum and like I like where I'm at. I enjoy it. It is frustrating when you go to an event and sometimes the people might not know you up front, like the security and stuff, and it takes forever to get in. And you have to convince them like what your job is to get in. And then you get in and everybody's like, Rashad. And I'm like, where were you guys outside when I was trying to get in for the past 20 minutes? Like, that's annoying. But yeah. Other than that, I like the level I'm at of like people know me, but people don't know me. Like you got to be in the industry to know me type deal, you know?
Right.
So I'll rock with that. I
don't think-
enjoy not being famous.
I don't think it's anybody we went to high school with us that's so famous that they can't like walk down the street though. Even if all these people are like notable in their own different way, like
Dansby.
Yeah. I say Dansby for sure is the most famous person to come out of
yeah.
our school. It's like we had to narrow it down to one person is Dansby for sure. But I think overall the list. Yeah, because Dansby can't walk down the street, bro. Like they know,
especially like near the Battery.
every white woman worldwide knows that man.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
Dansby got a Dairy Queen commercial.
I think it depends on where he at though. If he's in Chicago or if he's especially if he came back down here and was I feel like even though he plays for the Cubs, I feel like he's more known for the Braves portion of his career because he won a World Series down here and he's from here. So yeah, down here he can't just walk through. He couldn't. I don't think he could. He probably couldn't just walk through like Midtown Atlanta and not be recognized. Like I'm sure somebody would probably recognize him, but I don't feel like he's at the level of fame of like he's not like Aaron Judge or somebody like that. Like he is relatively famous, but not like I don't want to sound like
he's not Acuna.
Yeah, exactly. He's baseball famous, which is still famous, but it's like it's levels to the fame. You know what I'm saying?
De'Aaron can walk around Los Angeles without getting stopped or Vegas.
Yeah, I was gonna say I ain't gonna hold you. As I said, like I like not even trying to glaze them. Like if it's around white people, I think like Dansby might be. I think baseball fans in general know Acuna, but then if you're just talking about like white people, I think white people know Dansby more than Acuna. Like,
that's interesting.
Down here,
I had this discussion in like 2017. I was like, dang. If you walked around Centennial Park and held up a picture of Ronald Acuna Jr. and Josef Martinez, who do you think more people would be able to recognize? But mind you, this 2017, not 2025, because right now it's easily Acuna. But back in 2017, when Martinez was running the city and United was running the city, who do you think more people would have recognized?
Back then, probably Josef Martinez. I'm not even into soccer, and I remember watching I remember watching it because Atlanta United won a championship in the MLS, I believe. I remember watching that game.
2018.
Yeah, not even understanding what I'm watching, but I'm like, forget it. Like my city winning the championship, so I'm watching.
Facts. No, that's why I think Ronald Acuna, I think Ronald Acuna, as I said, if you're a baseball fans are gonna know Acuna over him. But I just think like the casuals, like Dansby is that one of those people that the casuals, like you don't really watch it, but they be like, who is that? You know, because he's had his moments in the college World Series and then being for the Braves and everything. And then him dating
Pugh.
Yeah, I mean, but I guess he only got 615.
Yeah. This was crazy to see. Only 600 compared to 1.7.
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe not. You know.
Well, you got to think Acuna one of the faces of baseball, so it's like Shohei Ohtani, Mike Trout, like Ronald Acuna, like it's not too many. Bryce Harper, Aaron Judge.
Yeah,
there's just not. Like Ronald Acuna might be a top 5 most famous baseball player right now.
But I feel like him not speaking English, like, it shouldn't be like this. But I definitely feel like him not speaking English has held him back from being as big of a star as he should be. Like,
100%.
if he spoke English in Atlanta, I feel like he would be. I feel like if instead of Ronald Acuna, his name was I'm trying to think of like a black last name, like Ronald Johnson or something like that, and he was a regular black dude that spoke, bro. He would be the king of Atlanta. Like down here, he'd be.
I got a question. I got
Yeah.
a question off of that. Who do y'all think is the biggest Atlanta athlete right now? Is it Trae Young?
Right now. Oh
Yeah.
wow, it might be Trae Young.
Because Julio retired.
Yeah, Julio's retired. Matt Ryan been retired. It would have to be between Trae Young or Acuna right now.
Let me go. Trae has like 4 million followers.
Trae Young is a real star. Like that.
true.
And I feel like that Knicks playoff series really took his stardom to another level.
Yeah. Trae got 5 million followers, bro. Yeah, it's his city for real. But yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think all time, Marietta, Dale Ellis is up there, right? One of the greatest shooters in NBA history. Had the 3-point contest with Larry Bird in the 80s.
You'd have to say Young Lyrical Dreads, the Marietta icon. Yo, for the people watching at home, just a quick background story. There was a kid at our school named Young Lyrical Dreads. Shout out to him. He was always nice to me. I have nothing bad to say about him. But he was a rapper, and I used to feel bad because like he was super positive and super nice, but like people would just be really mean to him about his music career, and they would talk behind his back. And I always just kind of felt bad about that because, like I said, he was a real nice dude. I ain't gonna say the music was bad; it just wasn't for me. But
he just set himself up with the name. Like, you don't even give people a chance to check you out with that name, bro.
Young Lyrical Dread. Yeah, to an extent. I'm thinking about it now. That might be it. Now that I think about it.
Like, his music could have been hard, but since his name was Young Lyrical Dreads, people was gonna roast him.
What if you know what it would have been better if his name was just Young Dreads?
Young Dreads ain't a bad name.
Young Dreads, especially now, I feel like that's similar to the rap names we get now.
If he spelled the Young without an O and it was just YUNG Dreads, I think he would give himself a chance to prosper.
Yeah, we got to rewind time back to 2012 and tell him that.
But it was funny. It's funny because in high school, it was like considered like corny to rap. Like, it was lame to rap. Because the most successful rapper from our school didn't rap in high school until the end.
Facts.
Yeah, I don't even know if he was going to MHS. We're talking about the rapper Tony Snow for the people watching now. Not to be confused with Pimp C, who was Tony Snow. I don't think he was
Pimp C, Underground King of the South.
Why you always coming around with bad news? Yeah, no, I don't think he was rapping when we was in high school. Right, because I think he ended up. I don't think he graduated from MHS. I think he transferred to Kennesaw Mountain,
and then he dropped out to trap.
I didn't know that.
But then he got his like GED.
Yeah, this the Cobb County segment of the episode for the people at home.
Well, I mean, but people know who Tony Snow is if they in the underground rap scene. Y'all know who Tony Snow is.
I was gonna say
he's pretty big. Like Tony, like y'all talk about Dansby can't walk down the street like in the Battery. Dansby can't walk down the street in the Battery. Dansby can't walk down Centennial Park. He can't go, you know what I'm saying? All the major spots of Atlanta for sure. And Chicago, especially around like Wrigley Field. Tony Snow, he can't go near any like night spot in Atlanta.
You definitely probably couldn't walk down like Edgewood or something like that. Or like, I'm trying to think, any of the more local spots like MJQ, he definitely wouldn't be able to. He would immediately get recognized somewhere like that for sure. Definitely.
Every time I see him out, he's on the stage. Like you know how people just be standing on stage. Like he's one of them. Like everywhere I go and I see him, like he's always standing on stage.
That just reminded me of that. It went like mini viral. Somebody had posted a video from the Metro Boomin the album
Yeah,
where it
that
was
was great. That was great.
yeah,
I'm gonna
it was a
pull it
bunch of
up.
people standing on stage and nobody would get off stage. Bro, I don't even maybe it's just me, like I prefer to be in the crowd. Like I don't even want to I don't know. If I'm coming there with people I know, I guess then like okay, cool. We can be on stage or whatever, but like if it's an artist that I'm a fan of, I prefer to be in the crowd when they're performing.
Hey, security and police, everybody gotta get off the stage. Everybody.
Nobody moved.
Oh, everybody, I'm telling you, ma'am, this me, everybody. This is my first time talking to you, everybody.
Why is Atlanta like this?
If they're not in the section, they have to go. Everybody.
Everybody just making videos, having a good time. No urgency.
I don't know, like honestly, I don't know.
Yeah, for the people that was listening, that was a clip from Metro Boomin's album release. There's a bunch of people on stage, and they were requested to get off stage, and nobody was moving. Everybody just standing around.
And the thing is, I see Reese LaFerre here. Shouts out to Reese. I just uploaded a short today of an old interview I did with him where he was the one explaining how he had Young Thug on This Is America. And I was like, that's kind of crazy. He put that together and stuff. Reese is behind a lot of dope stuff, including like a lot of songs on this project of the Futuristic Summer. However, if I'm Reese in this situation, bro, I'm setting the example of walking off the stage. Because if I, as a famous person, can walk off the stage, then other people are going to be like, okay, we fought monkey see, monkey do. And that's not being racist towards black people. But yeah, like if I'm in that position, I'm walking off the stage just to show other people, like, yo, it's cool to walk off the stage. Because that's what it come down to for real, for real. Like, are you cool enough to stay on the stage when they told you to get off?
Yeah, nobody wants to be nobody wants to look like the normal civilian in that situation. Everybody, I just get annoyed by it. We've had this conversation over and over. I just get annoyed by the whole too cool culture. Like I love Atlanta, but it's definitely too much of like I just hate that whole narrative of like, yeah, everybody here is a celebrity. Like, no, not really, bro. Like it's certain people, and then it's people who are like loosely attached to these celebrities, or they might network enough to know certain people, but they're not really celebrities. I kind of get annoyed when um, I don't know. I'm a fan of confidence. I ain't telling nobody not to be confident or to carry yourself like if you feel like a celebrity, I'm with that. Like do your thing, but it's just don't be obnoxious about it. Like if you on stage and you're not supposed to be on there, just get off the stage, bro.
All right. Are we having, I feel like you opened a can of worms there. Are we having a conversation or having a conversation? Managers are not celebrities.
They shouldn't be, but they a lot of times they try to be. They like it's an Atlanta rapper. I'm not gonna say his name on here, but it's an Atlanta rapper where I feel like every time that they do an interview, like no matter what it could be the Breakfast Club, it could be Joe Budden Pie, whatever. Like somehow their manager always finds a way to interject himself into the conversation, and it annoys me every time as a fan of this artist. So yeah, I feel like now, especially with social media, like we're seeing managers, A&Rs, assistants, they having just as many followers as some of these rappers out here.
What do you say, Mo?
Nah, they not celebrities, but I will say they deserve respect.
So you say they deserve to stand on the stage when they say everybody else get off the stage?
If I'm the one that set it up for you to be able to get in here, yeah.
I say specifically And this is no diss. This is no diss because bro has helped me out before, and he has a social media platform. But he is probably one of the more well-known managers in the city. TP, my dog TP. All right, so TP for y'all that don't know, OG TP. He is the manager for like everybody in PD, Foel, Savage, Nudie, Lil Harold, all of them over there and stuff like that. Shouts on my boy Dre Sane as well. So for him, it's like say TP on the stage and they say everybody get off the stage. TP, I ain't gonna lie, I love you, my brother, everything like that, but like clear the way for Savage and Nudie to get on stage, brother. You know what I'm saying? If we kindly ask for the people, just do that real quick, because especially I felt like there haven't been many shows where this was needed. Like you can say get off the stage, fire hazard, they ain't gonna start the show till you get off the stage. But for a project like this, where you got rich kids, all 6 rich kids on the tape, you got 3 Travis Porter, that's 9, Young Dro, Quavo, there's about 15 people right there. It's literally 15 people who is performing and got legit verses and singing songs on this, and you got the producers on here because he want the people who produce the stuff to be on stage too. That's literally 50 people directly tied into the project. So if you help promoted it, if you help, you know what I'm saying, if you might be a photographer, a videographer, a journalist or something like that, or just in most of these dudes' cases, the plug, not snitching. But if you allegedly might be that for said artist, get off the stage, dog, please. You meet him, Mo.
I feel you for if you don't have no direct contribution to either the project or to the artists that are performing success, then yes. Like the random chicks in the background, they can get off. Like just the random people that are around. But I get you with like the manager in this situation possibly, but I think in most situations, if I'm your manager, I deserve to be right here. I ain't saying like I don't need to be in the front. I don't need to be like the main attraction, but like I'm not finna just like the rest of them could get off stage. And I think usually when they do stuff like this, it's like everybody get off stage so we can bring back on the people that need to be on stage because there's just too many people in general. And realistically, I think the managers are one of those people that deserve to be there on the stage or in the stage area. Like your managers, I don't think the manager should be in the crowd watching you perform. I think if anything, he'll be like backstage, on the side. But yeah, your manager, that's a pretty important person, so he shouldn't be just treated like, oh, you just some fan. Like, nah, like a lot of this stuff is happening because of me, so I think they deserve that respect.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Like the manager is definitely, I feel like the manager is probably right below the artist as far as like the operate, because a lot of these artists are, once you reach a certain level, like your brand becomes a business within itself. So you got like for example, like Jay-Z, like you got Jay-Z the rapper, or he's not really a rapper no more. He still raps, but he's not an active rapper no more. But you got people, assistants, you got, he's like his own economy basically. It's people that got to pay their bills based off the Jay-Z business. So if you want to like the manager or somebody like that, I'm not mad at you being like most say, you should probably be like backstage. But I do think being directly on stage, it can be like a bit much. It's just, I also think it depends on the scenario, because if it's just like a club show, like something like this, I think I don't know where the venue was, but this wasn't at like this wasn't at like State Farm or nothing like that. So in a situation like this, I could see that happening, but
I don't know if there was a backstage here.
Yeah. I know it would be weird, like if Tyler the Creator was having a tour and like Clancy was standing on stage. I would look at that as like, this is kind of weird right here. Like he could be, they got that section in between, like they got the barricade for the crowd, and then they got the stage. They got like that section in between. That's usually where somebody like your manager should be at. Like you in front of everybody, but you're not directly on the stage. I feel like that's probably where the managers belong at.
Bro, I was standing in that section for BET. They had a weekend, right, of free stuff at the convention center. That's why I went out there, because it was like it's a whole weekend of free stuff that goes on in LA. So like, but I got a VIP pass for one of the days, and with the VIP pass, you can stand up front with all the people who pay VIP, and then managers and all those and stuff. It was so loud, dog. I couldn't even enjoy it. Like next time, I'm gonna have to bring earplugs, headphones, something. So like it was so loud. I came back and brought my headphones. I put in my headphones, my wired headphones. Didn't change a thing, dog. It was so loud. Like it was Glorilla performance. So it was boom, boom, baby, where my like your whole body shaking. It was not an enjoyable experience, bro. I was like this watching Glorilla, and it wasn't enjoyable. Like I wish I could have because she would be looking at us every now and again, and all of us in the section would just be like this, and I want to be like, Glow, I like the music, like I love you, girl, but it's just loud. I don't want to lose my hearing.
I ain't been to a concert in a little minute. I need to make that happen. I know you be
everybody's on tour this fall too. Clips just stopped by Atlanta this week. Who just announced tour earlier today? Dang, it was someone good. I think Joey's going on. He announced his tour today. Jid is announcing his tour tomorrow. D1 announced his tour. Chance the Rapper announced his tour like right after he put out his album. Yeah, so everybody going on tour. Me, unfortunately, I won't be able to go to most shows because it'll be during football season. But yeah, it's a lot of people going on tour this fall and winter.
Well, not only are you seeing rappers go on tour or artists go on tour that haven't toured in a while, but I feel like you're seeing actors that ain't acted in a minute come back to TV or come back to television. And I do feel like you'll see people on Twitter use this phrase, but I think it's true. Like I say, recession indicator. I do think it's a recession indicator because you're seeing a lot of people that ain't even been active in a while. Like even like Jon Stewart coming back to do the Daily Show, like stuff like that is like that kind of lets me know like, yo, people got bills to pay. You know what I mean?
Ed Orgeron, bro.
He's coaching.
He just said like today. He said after 4 years, I'm getting the itch to return to coaching, and I was like, no, maybe it has something to do with you having to pay your ex-wife $8 million. Like
that and the property taxes due. Like it ain't. It's real. We don't think about like celebrities be having bills, bro, and they have higher bills than the average person because they don't know how to. Most of them don't know how to live within their means.
DDG was talking about that. Like they were like, "Why are you always streaming?" And he said, "For the lifestyle that I want to live, I have to like constantly work." I remember he went live every single day for like 100 and something days. And I'm currently doing that ironically, like I'm on like day 170. But he was like, I gotta take a break, my mental break, I'm worn out, this and that. And he said, y'all gonna see me. It ain't gonna be a month, but y'all gonna see me. Dude was like, say that was Tuesday. He was live again by the end of the week. I said, oh yeah, he can't leave because he's them bills, bro, that money. He just wanna keep going and stuff like that. Go ahead, Mo.
Oh no. It definitely is. I could definitely see it being taxing, but as you said, like to see what the stuff that they want to do, like as far as the content that they want to create, you got to be live for it to do the bigger stuff. You got to suffice that money, just for him to be doing the Are You My Ball like series and everything. It's like all those little streams kind of help pay for all that,
And the thing about it is the difference between him and Drewski is Drewski's shows are sponsored by Raising Cane's. DDG show, there is no sponsored by XYZ. Like he's doing that fully self-funded, renting out the studios and the airtime and everything like that, the host auditions for a couple hours, the cameraman. So that's a lot of money, man.
Did you see the episode last night for the LA auditions?
I haven't watched any of them. I've seen the clips, though. I've seen the clips, but I haven't watched any of the episodes.
I was watching some of the LA auditions last night, and it was funny. I was watching Ben the Don like react to it, and it was so they were in this like I guess like a warehouse, and so the warehouse looked kind of like weird, like it's like why are y'all here, But I guess a cheap, like just have the girls come in here and we'll just it don't really need to be nothing fancy. And then Ben Don has said he was like man, what the hell is this? He was like, hey, you can tell when Kai ain't behind it.
Hey, Kai be giving them first class meals. No. Hey, I seen the dude in the airport, bro, in Orlando. I was taking a connecting flight back because just to peel the curtain back for y'all. I booked the flight like the week before, bro, to go to Cleveland for NABJ this year. So I had to take a connecting flight back on Spirit through Orlando. And so I land in Orlando and a dude comes out with a full-on sweatsuit, bro. Streamer University. I said, oh, this man had to be because they don't sell this. But I ain't recognize, bro. I was like, dang, I ain't never seen dude before. But that's how many people Carson that had on campus with full-on sweatsuits, shirts, full meals paid for, transportation paid. Like, that's a lot of money, bro. Literally renting out a college campus with dorms that kids stayed in 100 plus around the world for a whole 3-4 days, dog. And it never once, like I said no, it did. I'm tweaking. It was sponsored by T-Mobile. It was sponsored by T-Mobile.
Yeah, everybody got phones and everything.
Yeah. Everybody got T-Mobile phones to stream on and everything. Yeah.
No, but even with having a sponsor, like just logistically putting all that together, I mean, he definitely deserves. I wonder how he, like, I'm not the pocket watch or anything like that, but I do wonder how he handles the streaming revenue and like how he breaks it down as far as like what he takes home versus, because you got to pay, cameramen, you got to pay editors, things of that nature. You know what I mean? I wonder how he goes about that. He's another, like we was talking about Jay-Z, like he's another person that's at this point, like he's his own economy. You know what I'm saying? Like there's people that work underneath him that pay their bills based off the Kai Cenat brand at this point.
I'll say one thing, he doesn't do as much IRL. So a lot of his stuff is from the desktop, So I am curious to see like how much it is, for everything. But I think as opposed to like a DDG, or like a lot of the other streamers, a lot of their stuff is mainly like IRL, So and I think, for excuse me, just with what you just brought up, I think Johnny was a person who he became like a personality within himself. So that made sense for him to leave. I think DDG cameraman now, I don't think it wouldn't be as profitable for him to just start streaming right now. Because especially with Johnny got Evelyn, So, you got Evelyn to do. Kyle looking one day, I saw him and Evelyn did a double date with Cinco and Lala. So it's like stuff like that where, create content right there. The whole thing from the people that benefited the most, of course, from the Streaming University, like Cinco, Lala, DDG, India Love, like that whole group. Ben
wasn't streaming before Streaming University.
Yeah.
That's crazy to think about now because he's like one of the bigger streamers, but he wasn't streaming before Streamer University.
Nah, facts. But I think, with like those, I think that particular group, all of them are always together too, they really benefited from it because now they have this whole storyline with everything that they do. How like just with last night, they were doing the LA auditions and Lala and India Love. And then I guess some girl named Aaliyah. I ain't never seen her before.
I think that's Dub's girlfriend. She's not a streamer or content creator. She's just Dub's girlfriend.
Yeah, that's what I kind of picked up from it. But yeah, like all of them doing a watch party to that, it made the content like even funnier because it's like now you get to see them and they're over here like, oh, so like now they want to say all this and blah blah blah, and and like calling them, midstream and stuff like that. So it definitely just to see how it became like it's a whole thing now, where anytime any one of them are doing anything, you have another person that can benefit from it.
Yeah, the most profitable way to build a social media platform is to build your own TV show, because if you react to stuff, if you do like stuff based off of what's going on in the real world, a lot of that stuff you have to go around all the copyright things. So the best way to make the most money is to build something original. And to build it originally, you just kind of like Country Wayne, a great example. He just picks up random actors and actresses off the street, and then he just like tells them, hey, this is what you're going to be doing. We're going to do it in one take, and then let's go. And then they just do that 8 times a day. And then he puts out 8 skits of that like kind of film. And that's how he makes some money, of just building something, as opposed to, someone like, let me think of a good example of someone like Peach and Abra. Is that their name, Mo?
I think so. I know who you talk.
Yeah, the dudes they was beefing with Fresh and Fit a couple years ago.
Preaching. I think. Abra.
Oh, Preach and Abra. Yeah. Those guys, even though they might have like a large following and millions of subscribers, they might not get paid as much as other content creators because their stuff is based off of reactions. And so much of that stuff is going to get, yellow marked on YouTube, which means you don't get as much money as you could have gotten. And so, like, I don't know if you guys ever heard of Dar Mar. He spells it Dhar. And then his last name might be Man. But Dar, his thing with it is, what was it? What's the thing about Dar Mar? Is he just creates like skits, but it's not skits, it's like mini movies, small movies and stuff, like short films. My bad, I was trying to think of the word. Short films, and they're really cheesy pocket lines and stuff like that, and it's always a happy ending, and it's always like a lesson of like, yeah, son, and that's why you don't bully the kid on the soccer team. And it's like really cheesy, but they get millions of views and he has millions of subscribers because it's free, quick entertainment. You get in a little hook to keep people watching at the beginning, to watch to the end to see what's going to happen. And it always ends nice. So you know how it's going to end, but it's like a feel good story, and it appeals to a wide range of people. And it's, original everything, original music, original actors, original films and stuff. So you don't have to worry about any revenue sharing with the big company and stuff. And that's how you maximize, social media growth. So I say all of that to say you have to stick together as content creators for it to work, and create your own drama and TV show within that kind of friend group. That's why Zoe Spencer was so hell-bent on being ostracized, once Streamer University came along and stuff like that, because it's currency and pretty much just having a friend group of a bunch of famous people in that space.
Yeah, I know for me personally, I've been thinking about I think I'm gonna start doing it going forward. Like I like I see the YouTubers doing the video essays about like certain topics. I've been thinking about doing that because it's certain stuff where like I can get on Twitter and talk about certain stuff, but after a certain point, like I'm not about to be doing, I'm not gonna put like 1,000 word essay on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, and I don't want to be doing threads every day. It's just certain things that I think about that I want to talk about. So I definitely think I'm gonna start doing that soon. But yeah, you brought up Country Wayne. Like that's a perfect example right there of somebody really just figuring out the internet and just how to monetize it perfectly. Like that dude, I don't even think he's in. I don't watch his skits like on a regular basis, but like I don't think he's in a lot of those skits. Like I don't even think he's actually in the
He don't even be in the skits no more.
yeah. And they tell it's almost like a soap opera almost. Like it's like for real. Like it's a. I'm sure if you go back and you'd be sitting there for days, but if you really sat back and watched all the skits, like it's low key telling a story. I believe that they're like continuous.
But this is how like fast it is. He doesn't even give the characters a name. It's just the people's names.
Oh yeah.
Like Nadia Adelaide's in a bunch of them. Zoe Spencer's in some of them. And who else? It's this girl named Shayla. She used to do sports broadcasting. The Shayla girl. Shayla's her name is like Supermax Shayla now or whatever on Twitter. But she started doing them Country Wayne skits. Boy, I ain't seen her do no sports broadcasting ever since then. You know, that man said on Shannon Sharp, he said 800,000 in a month just from Facebook alone is a slow month.
Everybody I know that's the next place we need to get onto. We're gonna have to make the Facebook page because everybody I know that I've heard podcasters say the same thing. Like Facebook pays the highest out of everybody, but that makes sense because it has the most people.
Yeah,
especially like that Country Wayne's audience is like the same audience as the people that watch. And I'm not saying this is a negative to him at all. Like it's just a fact. Like it's the same people that watch like Madea movies. And that audience, they spend their money. Like we said it before. Everybody auntie had and at least in the South, everybody auntie had the Madea plays back in the day.
No, that's a fact though. That's a fact. And they have time. They have more time.
Exactly. So
if older people are sitting on Facebook, shoot, if you can tap into that community and get their hearts and stuff like that, because Country Wayne, as you guys know, he doesn't cuss, and he came from church comedy, so it's like that was just a perfect storm for him. He was like, "Oh yeah, I'm giving y'all clean comedy skits. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming to y'all platform." He was like, "All right, I'm gonna own Facebook." And then you got to think about, I don't know how much he's getting from other platforms. Probably not. Well, obviously not as much. But that, and then the residuals from his comedy stand-ups, and then he's probably got some real estate and investments. Country Wayne is like, there's a reason why he's not on any of those skits anymore.
Yeah, I mean, like Facebook and Instagram, I think those are probably the ones. I mean, they're owned by the same company, but I think Facebook and Instagram are probably the ones that pay the most. And then I've heard a lot of people say, you could probably elaborate on this more. I've heard a lot of people say like the YouTube shorts, you could run a bag up off them too.
I ain't seen it.
Okay.
I seen more money from the long form YouTube.
Oh, for
YouTube
real?
shorts, you get views off YouTube shorts easily. But the money, I ain't seen no money from YouTube shorts. I got the most money from getting the most views off of like long form content, like stuff that's past 8 minutes and everything like that. That's where I get the most money from. And my highest months was it like, I hate to say it, but it was Carmelo Anthony months, bro. Because like white people and black people is just arguing, and the more people that commented, the more people, it pushed it in the algorithm, and more people's just watching it. So I probably had like a Carmelo video that had 10,000, another one that had 8,000, another one that had 7,000, and it was all in the same news cycle. So the same month. That month I raked up. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's been down. It's down right now, but I know just based off of how like social media works, you just keep posting every day. Just keep posting. It's eventually gonna go up again. So,
Yeah. Let's specify if we talking about the high school student Carmelo Anthony that he had he had stabbed. This is like self-defense allegedly, but he had stabbed one of his class. I just wanted to let the people know we're not talking about the basketball
The
player.
basketball player.
Yeah. I know somebody's probably confused hearing that.
It wasn't his classmate. The dude went to another school.
Oh yeah, okay, my bad.
Just at a track meet. So track meets, you got kids from different schools in the area, and he was sitting under the tent because it was about to rain or something, or I don't know. He was just sitting under the tent of another team. White kid comes over. He says, "Yo, get up. This our tent." He says, "Get up or what?" He say, "Bruh, just get up, bruh." He brings over his other brother. They kind of cornering the kid. He say, touch me and see what happens. The kid touch him. He goes in the book bag, gets a weapon, and one pierce to the heart, runs away. And obviously the kid didn't make it. Like, one pierce to the heart is good enough to do the job. So yeah. Unfortunate, but one kid is black, one kid is white. So they turned it into a race thing, and the race thing just made it explode, and that kind of made it a national conversation. So I raked off that. It's unfortunate, but people was watching and talking about it all month.
Oh yeah, no, my bad, bro.
Oh no, I was just gonna say that's sad, man.
Oh, also I want to say this, Mo. There's a lot of them folks that I follow from Streamer University that they go live, 14 viewers, 6 viewers. Some of them had a platform on TikTok, and that's how they got into Streamer University. And they started streaming because of Streamer University, and they stream now nothing, bro. And I'm just like, dang, like this didn't really, as you're saying, benefit anybody. But I feel like Corey Too Close might be the only small streamer that went into there as a small streamer and came out as a big streamer, or as a relatively mid-sized. Him, no, I'm lying. Him, Yana J, and then like the non-black streamers that I never heard of, like Extra Emily, people like that. I never heard of them before, and then after now, I know who they are.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree. I do be seeing some of the people, Chicklet?
Yeah, her and her husband, yeah.
The husband is Chicklet, and then it's Melanie.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about, yeah.
But yeah, Chicklet be going live, and he'll have like 86 viewers in there. And I'll be like, dang, I was like, shoot, I could spark up right now. I might get that,
Yeah.
But like no shade, but like you said, like it didn't really. And I think for some people, you got to have, but that's why it's stressful for them sometimes. I can feel like with DDG and stuff, like, like me and Rashad, we text about it all the time, and I try, but like Ben, to me, is my favorite streamer right now because I feel he's just naturally funny, where he can just be on desktop and just be, just reacting to stuff, and it's going to be funny content the entire time, and then, also I think his content of like, he has the opportunity to create just naturally, like he just does dope stuff on the regular, that where it's not like he's having to really go out of his way, like him, like the Drake connection for him is, that's just an easy plug, like you get to watch a Ben the Don stream and then go to a Drake show at the same time, but yeah, a lot of the other streamers though, it's, you could tell they really be sitting there trying to figure out day to day, like, all right, what we finna do, like it's only so many taco nights that you could do. You feel me? they love them taco nights, and then it's with all the same people over and over, to where it just gets kind of tiring, to watch them, because it's just like, all right, you kind of know what the storylines are going to be, So I don't know, like, and it's funny to see them kind of copy each other. Like I was looking, cause I saw like 3 weeks ago, Lala and Raya had did like walk around as a guy, dressed up as guys and did that. And then I saw like 2 days ago, Yana J and Yeah, Lola did that. And I was just like, yeah, it's like, hey, we gotta do something, you know?
But my thing is like I feel sorry for some of those women creators like Araya and Samaya or Samaraya, I forgot what her name is,
Yeah.
uh,
I
who
think
are
it's
attached to who are attached to dudes directly because Raya and Silky don't work out, and now what? Like
I
most
mean,
of the people watching Raya were watching Raya just to see her talk about Silky. Go ahead, Mo.
I'm about to say Raya, she chose that though. I think Samaya was just out here just trying to just make content. But Raya, it seemed like she really, kind of wanted to lock in with Silky. And I think Silky gonna be straight regardless, because he's phased,
Yeah, he's phasing, and he already had motion beforehand.
Exactly,
But it never affects the dude.
Yeah.
It always affects the girl in the situation because I guess because most people who watch streams are dudes.
Yeah. Nah, that's a fact. I don't know. It is interesting because I think with like Lala, the Cinco thing, if they were to break up and, I think Lala has a good like following, a decent following right now as it is. But I do feel like a lot of it is to kind of see her react to Cinco stuff or them do content together, So, I mean, that's a good point. I don't know. I mean, it is unfortunate for some of them who do kind of get caught in that, but it's like, hey, as long as it's working, unless you're like Wendy and you got the Woshin.
The Wu Malati. Go ahead, Jelani.
No, I was gonna say I feel like being a streamer is. I mean, I feel like it's no different than to an extent like being a rapper, just from the standpoint of there's so many rappers that you got to find a way to differentiate yourself and find a way. You got to find something different as far as like promotion um or even if you got to link up with like a lot of these streamers they got like management companies behind them. They got brand deals. And like a lot of them not even organically necessarily. Uh, they organically got to a certain point, but then once they got to that point, like the machine stepped in.
Neon.
Who?
Neon.
Yeah, exactly. Like you seeing streamers with rappers, politicians, all types of stuff. So
Well, Neon signed to 300.
he signed the 300 records. That's the music industry in a nutshell, right there. That just about sums it up. That makes sense though. That's crazy. I didn't know that. I know like a lot of them had managers and stuff like that. I didn't know he was signed like directly to a label. That's crazy. But yeah, you got to find a different way to differentiate yourself. It's just now with like the Kai Cenats and even like Funny Mike had the streamer prom thing like that. Like it's just hard to, if you don't have financially the money to really take it to that next level. It could be difficult, but that's why you gotta be creative. You know what I'm saying? You gotta find things to do in the crib or IRL that might not cost too much money, that set you apart from the other streamers. So
another part to me that's heartbreaking is a guy like Carlos. Like, shouts out to Ilos work, Carlos. I've interviewed him before when I was out in LA for BET, and he was just like, when I seen him, he was just like so loud and kind of like all over the place and like, yeah, this and that, and I'd seen him go live once, and he was going live IRL to like show himself at a New York parade in New York, and he had like 12 viewers, bro, on the live. And Los got started from going to an after party, Met Gala. He's, Jess Hilarious assistant. And he was at an after party for the Met Gala, and he met Kai Cenat, and he became like, Kai, he was staying by Kai, and he was funny. And Kai was like, yo, apply to Streamer University, this and that. And he got into Streamer University, all that. And you think about someone like that, he had the exact same meeting point with Kai Cenat that Ray did. And it's like, so I don't know. Me personally, I look at Ray and I'm like, dang, if you meet Kai Cenat and can tell a couple funny jokes while you with Kai Cenat on stream, bro, you can get an Adidas deal, you can get a McDonald's, everything like Ray. It just don't work for everybody like that, especially if you're not, if you're black. because a part of the thing with Ray is Ray's not black, so it's like a kind of like a thing of shock there that that appeals. Go ahead, Mo.
I was gonna say also you realize, when people be doing these IRL streams, like not everybody, like a lot of people be trying to be funny on stream and it'd be like, this is corny. You could that's why a lot of people be like, oh, these streamers aren't they're talentless, they don't like why are they even famous, this, that, and the other. But the streamers who are popular for a reason, because to make consistent content or just even be on stream and to be funny consistently, it's not easy at all. Like, and as I said, I see it with some of the people who hop on there and then they be trying to they be like their friends or something, and they be like, yeah, chat, blah blah, and you just be like, get that guy off the screen, like like this man, like just like bring back the people who actually know how to do this,
Well, you got to think about it like this, right? Like if you go out, say, okay, we're going back to the going outside and touching grass thing that we were talking about earlier with Jelani, of like most dudes these days never taught to approach the woman in real life. For the people like our age who were still kind of going outside, like we grew up, like iPhones for us came out in 6th grade. So it's like we did grow up with smartphones. We grew up with social media and stuff like that, but we still kind of like, like we still know about catching twerks and, your friend holds you back at a party once you're getting twerked on. And, even at the school dances and proms, even if you didn't go to house parties and kickbacks and stuff like that, like that was our generation of like, go up to this girl and get her number, like as a bet with your homies. I bet you won't go to that girl and talk to her, like all that, right? Like that was still our generation. So imagine spending your entire life going outside and, like you have one way of going outside. And then all of a sudden you want to start streaming. And then you're like, oh, this party might be a cool opportunity to go IRL stream. You're not going to know how to interact with, what I'm saying? Interact with the chat, not be awkward. Like you're probably going to be in your head most of the time of like, oh, I look probably crazy with a cameraman following me with the light. And, everybody just wants to have a good time. And I'm trying to talk to them for the sake of the stream. And they're like, huh? And I'm like, good to see you, with the microphone in my hand. Like, you're probably going to be awkward the first time. Like, it's not going to be a natural thing for you. Kai and all those boys, I feel like they can make it look a little more natural. And like even Duke Dennis, he looked, what I'm saying, when he was doing the 30 days in a row and he was doing him going out and stuff like that live on stream, it was a bit awkward for Duke as opposed to in his YouTube videos, because YouTube, everybody doesn't know he's there live. He can cut stuff out, all the awkward parts. People like Kai and younger, Kai's like 22, 23. Those kids grew up, what I'm saying, doing this at the party. So it's like they know how to interact at the party with other people and not be awkward, and interact with the chat and not be awkward. People our age, we don't go out like that. So it's like to learn how to, hey, chat, what should I do? Chat and talk to people and dance to the music. Like you're going to look weird, I feel like.
Nah, facts. That is a fact. Yo, real quick though, I feel like we've gotten a little away from our core, man. From music, bro. We don't talk about music on here no more. Man, so I just wanted to hear like some thoughts on some recent projects. Like Jelani, you heard the Chance album?
Man, I need to listen to it because I'm gonna be honest. At first, I wasn't planning on listening to it, and not to be like a hype beast or anything like that. We were all like big Chance fans like back in the day. Oh wait, that's crazy that you could say that about 2013 back in the day. But yeah, like when he first acid rap era, I would say acid rap up until the last album he put out, I was a fan of his music. But I've heard nothing but great things about it, so I'm gonna check it out for sure. But I haven't heard it yet.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I like Rashad got a whole review about it on YouTube. Y'all go check it out. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Like, I think it's not his best project or nothing, but I think it's a good project, especially in comparison to the last effort that he put out. Personal favorites, like I like the song with Baby Chief Do It. I don't know how to say the name. Drake Tomania. Yeah, that's a good song. Baby Chief Do It is hard. I rock with him now. And then I really like that No More Old Men song. I've had that on repeat. I'm not gonna lie. For some reason, I really like that song. And then and I think like towards the end, like when it gets a little like all soulful with like Space and Time and like Link Me in the Future, that's a cool little song. And I like Letters. Letters was a song about a good good little message. As I said, overall, I like the album. I think he did his thing, man. So shout out to Chance, man. But one album that I've been playing a lot, that Freddie Gibbs album. And you on mute. Well, okay, but yeah, I was like the Freddie Gibbs album. I saw a lot of people kind of when it first came out, essentially kind of comparing it to the Clips album. And like when I listened to the Clips album, I did enjoy it, but I realized like as I listened to the Freddie Gibbs album, I liked it a little bit more. And I think, yeah, personally, but
that's a tape. That's a tape.
But like after listening, because then I was like, as I was listening to the Freddie Gibbs album, I was like, why do I like this more than Clips? And I realized I think it's just the Alchemist beats. I think the more chill, soulful, like kind of vibe beats, where you rapping on that, as opposed to the, some of them Clips beats, like they great rapping, but the beats are little harder hitting, It's but as I said, it's still a great album. I do really enjoy the Clips album. But I think just for me personally, I think the Alfredo 2, I just like listening to it better. I can see how like Clips album is probably going to do more, especially like a Wise and stuff of that nature. Like I could see that. But as I said, for me personally, I like Alfredo. It just I don't know them Alchemist beats, and it made me just really go listen to more Alchemist work. Cause I like Alchemist. Like I liked him with Larry June. I listened to some of Fetty. I gotta go back and listen to all of Fetty with like Freddie Gibbs and Currency. But then I started listening to some of Alchemist albums, like where he got solo tracks on there. And yeah, my boy be spitting, man. I was like, I'm thoroughly an Alchemist fan now. It really got me locked in. So yeah. What are y'all thoughts on the Freddie Gibbs album if y'all listened?
I hadn't heard the full thing yet. I've heard like snippets of a few of the songs. Yeah, Alchemist at this point is like, I mean, he's been a legend for years already, but like he's low key. I mean, you can make a case. I would say like him or Metro Boomin would be like the top producer of this decade so far, which is crazy because Alchemist had already been out for like 20 plus years by the time we got to the 2020s. He's on a crazy run. Like it's just fascinating for me to see. I remember like Freddie Gibbs, first time I got introduced to him was this is back when he was underneath Jeezy, like that era, like early 2010s. It's just kind of fascinating to see like he got a large like white younger fan base. Like a lot of like white boys in they like late teens, early 20s are really into his music. And that's just, I don't know, it's kind of fascinating for me to see like this 40-year-old dude from Gary, Indiana be having like these white young hip hop kids going crazy over him. But yeah, I gotta listen to. I've been slipping, bro. I was thinking about that over the weekend. Like I'm definitely making it more of a point now to get out of like my little nostalgia bubble as far as the music that I've been listening to, and like go back to like over the weekend I was like looking at certain forums, just trying to figure out like, okay, what's some new music I ain't heard yet? Because I don't want to just be just listening to the same music. So I definitely going forward like want to be more in tune with the new stuff that's coming out for sure.
No, fact.
I'll say Alchemist is probably the one Zionist that all underground conscious rappers approve of. For sure. So shout out to the Alchemist for pulling that off for sure. Like to have Mike go on his tiny desk and like half the time be like F Zionist, F Israel, you know what I'm saying? Like free Palestine, and then be like, all right, I'm gonna rap on some Alchemist beats for you guys. You ready? Like I thought that was like something, man, for sure. But I'm excited for this. Hold on. I don't want to write off Freddie. So let me put a cap on Freddie. I enjoyed it. Not as much as I enjoy Alfredo One. See, it's certain artists, they make such great albums that it's like it takes me some time to like enjoy the new work. Like I feel like Saba is the worst like victim of this with me. Like Saba made Care for Me. Everything he puts out since then is good stuff. It's great rapping, great storytelling. But he made Care for Me. And it's difficult for me to get past that because I still listen to Care for Me on long road trips and stuff like that. Like it came out yesterday. And I feel like that's my thing with Alfredo too. Still stuck on Alfredo One. I realized and recognized that was like 3 Freddie Gibbs albums ago. And the Souls sold separately, or whichever one just came out last year. The last song on that, I'm still stuck on that song too. Gosh dang, that done got Diddy. I used to want to be that dude puffing till that man Pac did some. I wonder if I had a reservoir until they ready to check out. Rest in peace to Rich Homie Quan. You was too young to check out. Like that song right there, I listen to all the time still. So I say all of these things. I'm stuck on so much old Freddie Gibbs. Like Jelani said, it kind of is at a fault. So listening to Alfredo 2 with Alfredo 1 ears, because that's a project I play all the time. I couldn't get past it. But I did enjoy the fact that it sounded different than other Freddie Gibbs just rapping about drugs over these soulful Alchemist beats. When he had the joint with the Anderson .Paak, and then he had the other one, the Larry June one, that sounded different too. So I appreciated he had different sounding joints on there to diversify it, kind of recognizing, hey, all my songs sound the same. A lot of artists don't realize that or they don't care about it. So I appreciate the fact that Freddie put in that effort for it. And but for me, is just something that I haven't really kind of revisited too much. The Clips album, darn near listen to like every day, especially if I'm walking somewhere. So that one's just like another level for me. And but I wanted to say too, I'm excited than a mug for this Earl in 4 days.
Okay, I didn't know he was dropping.
Yeah, I think he just announced. Yeah, I'm a big Earl fan. I'm gonna definitely check that out. But I really do. Next week I'm gonna listen to because I've seen nothing but good things about Alfredo too, and he brought the Chance album. I've seen like actually kind of surprisingly great reviews, just because I feel like people were, I don't want to say down on Chance. I mean, they were back when he put out the album about his wife or whatever, but I feel like in recent years, people haven't been talking negatively about him. It's just I haven't really seen people talking about him in general. You know what I'm saying? Like, so just to see him come out, 12 years after Acid Rap, and to be relevant still, and to have a project that's getting like really great reviews, that's dope for me. I definitely need to check that out though. But Freddie Gibbs is one of those rappers I'll hear him on guest verses, and every time I hear him on guest verses, I've never heard him have a whack verse. I've just never really sat down and really dove deep into his discography. But what was the one he had with Madlib? I think it was Pinata. I remember that had great reviews. Yeah. The first Alfredo had great reviews. Everything I seen him put, I ain't never seen him put out an album that got whack reviews. So yeah, this is gonna be my first front to back Freddie Gibbs album, but I'm gonna sit back and listen to it.
That's wow.
It is, bro. It's crazy because
Freddie been on a run since like 2014. You would say, Mo, yeah. the one in the black and white, that was Pinata, right? In the black and white, he's sitting on there with the cigarette in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since then, Freddie has been like kind of like on the forefront of like when he drops an album, hip hop heads listen.
Yeah, I don't know how it's certain rappers that is just they kind of slip through the crack. Also, I just think during that time, like blog era, it was just so many different rappers. It was kind of impossible to listen to everything. Even if I was aware of who he was, I knew him, and I would hear him on certain Jeezy songs and things like that. But I just never fully tapped in. But I'm gonna give it a full listen for sure.
Yeah, no, for sure. I want to shout out some other artists. Rich Brian dropped, formerly known as Rich Chigga. He kind of wiped that off the internet and tried to make people forget. I didn't forget. He made the song "Pull Up with That Stick." If y'all remember that in 2015, it was like, "I don't give a f about a mother lover and Poe. I'm gonna pull up with that stick," like the Asian kid.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. The guy who used to make memes and stuff like that. I forgot.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
know him more for social media than I know him for
yeah. So he released a new album. I thought he fully produced it, and me personally, I could tell that he's a talented guy and he put a lot of work and effort into it, but the soul was missing for me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta have some soul to connect with the listener, and it didn't connect for me. It's a great rapping, great production. It felt like this was a kid who grew up. Igor was his greatest album of all time, and then he tried to replicate a Tyler Creator or Childish Gambino album, like with the transitions and everything like that. And it's like, give us something different. If I wanted to hear a Childish Gambino album, I would have just listened to 31520. If I want to listen to a Tyler album with great transitions, I would have just listened to Cherry Bomb or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have that already. Give us who Rich Brian is. But he's still young. They said he's 25. So it's not a bad album, but that's just how I felt about it. The soul was missing for it for me.
Real quick,
Yeah.
I listened to it. I think it was a couple of songs that I do feel like, I can go back and listen to it, but I think also with it listening to it, I could tell he sounds like early 20s, like him being 25 now, I could tell like he was writing some of this throughout his early 20s. And I think that's where some of the disconnect kind of is too. Because I can listen to it and I was just like, it just some of the stuff he was saying. It wasn't like he was saying nothing like crazy or nothing, but it's just little stuff. I'm like, you just sound kind of young, And
I hear it's like how his goal is like to have sex with this girl. And I'm like, I can't really relate to that as like my goal.
Yeah. But I feel like, is overall a solid album. Like I think he hit some good points on there with the, like with Ma and time zones, and stuff like that. I feel like he got a little deep in there, so yeah, it was overall solid, and I think as he gets older, it's gonna be good. Like I think because I said like with a song like Ma, like where you can have that introspective, reflective type of music, I think that was like, okay, you're heading in a good direction. It's just, I say you're still a little bit younger. So I think for me, it didn't connect as much, but still good, good rapping and everything.
That's a great take. Great take on it. K Camp, he released a new album. Make sure y'all support K Camp. If it was an R&B joint, so he had Jacquees on it. A couple other singers on it too. So yeah, K Camp. Marco Plus released a new album. Y'all support Marco Plus. Mino's on it, and he had a couple other rappers on it, K Cash, Kai Cash, and stuff like that. Underground rappers. That's Southside, College Park. Marco Plus, a rapper, but he's kind of tuning back like the rapping. It's like, okay, yeah, you guys know I can rap, but let me try to make some good songs. So I appreciated him that attempt. Anisia and Jid song officially came out on all streaming platforms. Son, Suave is doing the ad libs on it. That was good. Genevieve, I don't know how to say her name. The R&B singer. Her album came out last week, and I thought that was a good album. It was a solid album. Cardi B song came out. What you guys think about Cardi B flipping the Jay-Z joint?
So that Jay-Z, the song the album that song was on was my uncle had he didn't give it to me, but basically that was like the first Jay-Z album I ended up owning. It came out like when I was like 2, so I didn't have it when it came out, but this was like 2005 when I ended up getting it. So like it was definitely I liked it. Like I saw some people wasn't the fondest of it or whatever. Me personally, like I liked it. Like I thought I feel like she did her thing as far as staying within the concept of the song. Now, I don't know if that should be like the single for the album. I feel like it would have been better off just being like just a one-off freestyle or something like that. But overall, I liked it. I think she did her thing. Well,
I
you
haven't listened to the whole thing yet.
okay?
This man Mo was like, "Yeah, I listened to all 3 of these albums from front to back, but I didn't listen to this 3-minute Cardi B song."
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I ain't gonna lie, I just wasn't too excited to go check it out.
I'm the same way, bro. But people kept asking me about it. I guess because I listened to a lot of new music, and I was like, "Well, let me listen to it and have an opinion on it."
See now I feel like a bird because I was kind of excited.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. That's crazy. Not listening to Freddie Gibbs, but being tuned in for the new Cardi B is insane.
It was only because I knew she was rapping over that instrumental, so I was like, I want to see what this, or I knew she was sampling that song, so I wanted to see what it was going to sound like. She did her thing though. I didn't think it was bad. I don't know if it ain't gonna be something we should be playing on like a regular basis, but she did her thing though.
She was rapping. She had a couple bars on there.
Yeah, she did.
Well, I don't want to spoil it for most. I was gonna say it, but I ain't gonna say it. Who else I want to shout out? It was a lot of new music that came out this week. Protect came out with a new album this week. That's what's his name? The streamer. That's his artist. Bruce dropped him off. His artist Protect. Who else dropped? I think Lecrae dropped this week. I'm not sure, but I think he did.
I want to ask y'all a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Who y'all think will have a better album, Offset or Cardi?
I'm gonna say Offset.
I'm gonna say Offset. I feel like Cardi has too much pressure on her.
Yeah, and honestly, I think that's how I'm feeling too. And I wonder if there's somewhat. If I'm Offset, I ain't gonna hold you. Like I'll probably be petty and push it back to September. We dropping the same day, but I think,
smoked.
Huh?
He would get smoked. Album sales.
Yeah.
I don't care about sales like that, but he would get smoked going up against her.
Nah, that is a fact. But I do feel like he probably is gonna have a better album. I've been liking the rollout that he's been doing. Like I like that body song. I like the little he did where he's in the chair, look like about to talk to the therapist, Kiari and all that. So like I'm excited for Offset's album. I think I do think it might be better than Cardi's, but I think it's gonna be better rapping. Ain't no telling with Cardi, she might have bigger, like 9 times out of 10 she's gonna have bigger hits on there, But I think as a body of work, it's probably I don't know. I feel like it's gonna probably be Offset, but I can see Cardi surprising us. I hope she does. Like I'm a Cardi fan. I genuinely enjoy her music and her as a person. So I would love for her to come and give us something good. Like because I know a lot of people, like you said, there's so much pressure on her. A lot of people are expecting this album to not be nearly as good as the first one, and I like the first album. That was a very good album from top to bottom. So I think she can kind of bring some of that same energy. That would be dope, But yeah, so we're gonna see though. We're gonna see, man.
Oh yeah, last I'm like super late. I'm like a good year and a half late, but I listened to the rapper Fake Mink or whatever. I finally ended up checking him. You heard of him before? The British rapper. And, I feel like if anybody, I feel like you've been.
Oh yeah,
seeing
because I was tapped into to UK
I feel like you
underground.
would know. Yeah, the rapper named Fake Mink or whatever. But yeah, he been buzzing. He got like a super buzz online. But he put out an album like it's like late 2023. It's called London Savior. I listened to that over the weekend. I was like, oh, this is fire. Like I actually enjoyed this. But it was like it's kind of, I don't know. It's I can't even really describe the type of music. Like it's like sing song rap, but his beat choices are like crazy, the samples and stuff like that. But I figured that Rashad would probably know who he was just because he is like he's underground technically, but he's kind of starting to transition to being like it says right there, he has 1 million listeners on Spotify, so he's kind of starting to blow up a little bit. But yeah, I checked that out over the weekend.
I was super into the UK thing. I made a face earlier because Low Legend of Winning, he just dissed me on YouTube. He's
Right
still
now?
dissing me, and this time he dissed me from like a page that he hasn't used in 5 years, and I guess that's like his way of laying low to not give me too much clout or like responding to me. But Low, man, I ain't even gonna respond to you right now, bro. I ain't even gonna respond to you right now, bro. But
Because
buddy,
I see. My
Huh?
bad, right?
No, go ahead, Jelani.
No, I seen you at like somebody. I think somebody had posted on Twitter like you had said something about like something he said or something like that.
Yeah. Shout out my boy Holla. My boy Holla. So this is what happened, man. I'll break it down to y'all like this. Holla, we've been going back and forth about this Wilt Chamberlain thing, right? Since forever. So Holla is cool with Low because Low is from Atlanta. So he put Low no. Low made a video about Wilt Chamberlain. He's like, we got to be honest about the 100-point game, man. Like they were cheating, they were doing this, they were doing that. Like Wilt, he like goaltended a lot of his own teammates and to get 2 points out of it. Like it was cheap. It didn't count as 100 points. If you look at the Wilt Chamberlain's tape and you still consider him a top 5 player, I can't take you seriously and this and that. So I came back at him and I was like, yo, y'all have to stop talking about these old players like this. Like every greatest player isn't from the 90s and up. Like that's so ridiculous that you guys talk like that and stuff. So then, like I said, Holla sent me the video of Low talking about Wilt Chamberlain. So I said, I'm going to react to this on stream tonight. He said, bet. I reacted to it on stream and then I sent it back to Holla. Holla was like, I'm going to clip this up. So he clipped it and then he was like, Rashad Milligan fires back at Legend of Winning. I was like, yo. And Low responded immediately after the tweet came out, like 2 minutes after the tweet came out. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't know who I am. I'm like, hold on, buddy. I was like, I respect you, everything like that. Like you got rich off this YouTube stuff, just from talking about basketball. Like nobody in the city of Atlanta really doing it like that. So salute to you, brother. But this is what I was arguing. And then I responded to it and I put it on YouTube. The response as of now has to have like, hold on, let me go to it right now on my page. It has to have like 30 views. It has 31 views. This man just watched it for 25 minutes and responded to it, bro. That's why I'm like, oh, he can't be. He is really like on me right now. And so I'm watching it, you know what I'm saying? Woo. Like I say, I always appreciate the free clout because I'm trying to get where you at, man. You know what I'm saying? Layla released this. That's why I pulled it up. It's a whole nother thing. Out of Their freestyle featuring Dre Bread, her mama. So shouts out to Layla. Shouts out to Lucille Gotti. She dropped this SoundCloud exclusive called The Wash. And my favorite song on it is Unconditional Sped Master. I like that. But yeah, go ahead, Jelani, what you was about to say.
Oh no, I was gonna say your boy that clipped it, low-key threw you an alley-oop.
He did, bro. He was trying to get me on, and I was like, bro, like that's real. That's real. That's
definitely real.
I appreciate that. So like, but below he ain't biting into it in terms of like making it a video and putting my name on it. Like, cause if he did that, we'd be in a mansion, boy.
Out of here.
But yeah. So Low is still dissing me back, and I'm honestly surprised that he's still like doing this. I'm like, yo, here it is right here. If you guys want to see it, this has 2 comments, 31 views, bruh. That's how petty he is, bruh. Like, I ain't gonna lie. I applaud the pettiness, dog. I applaud the pettiness. This man said, after watching this video, my opinion on you still stands. You are grossly ill-informed on me and my stance on basketball, especially older players.
Oh, he commented on it?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Hilarious.
But he did it from like a burner page. Look at this. He hasn't posted on this page in 5 years, bruh.
That's hilarious.
That's how petty he is, bro. This some
Super petty.
Drake stuff, bro. This how Drake be dissing small. Like, I get it now, bro. This man Low is like a big deal on it, but like he dissing me from burners, so people don't see his responses to me, so I don't get no clout off him, bro. He arguing for the love of the game.
Yeah, I respect that. I respect that's definitely dedication to the
Bro,
craft.
this video is 25 minutes long. It has 31 views, bro, and he watched the full 25 minutes.
Yeah, that's
Man,
crazy.
You probably was respectful enough that he could sit through it without catching feelings over it.
I told him, I said, bro, for you not to know me also is like, it say something about you as a homie, because he was on my homie's podcast and I was on my homie's podcast. I was like, I know the people that's been on my homie's podcast because that's my homie podcast. Like, I might not watch every episode, but I know who been on there. Roscoe Dash been on there. I was on there. KP was on there. Shouts out to KP. People who have clothing brands, people who are popping on Instagram. And, you know, he was on there. Like, I know the main people who were on the podcast. So for you to say you don't know who this man is, and, you know, he dissed me something crazy. I ain't gonna lie. Like, he little bro me to everything, but he follow a lot of the people that I follow and people that I grew up with and work with and stuff. So it's just like, if you know them, bro, you know me. Like, and if you don't, I get it too, because I'm low key on the internet for real. But like, this is who I am. This is what I do. And I think because of that, like you said, he respects me enough to respond.
Facts.
Nah, that's hilarious. Responding from a burner though.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And finding it out in real time is crazier. This is almost 3 hours. It's about to be 1 a.m. Ironically, we thought we was gonna get out of here at midnight. Is there any last music things that you guys want to shout out, or before we like close in 10 minutes?
I like the JID album.
We didn't talk about the JID album on here?
Nah.
Oh, you right. We definitely straying from our if we ain't talk about the JID album, that's an obvious one. I'll let you nah, Jelani. If you ain't listened to the JID album and you heard the Cardi B song, that's crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you.
What? I never, but I don't. That's another album that I've heard nothing but.
But you gotta listen to albums now, Jelani. You on a podcast, bro?
No, that's a fact. Now that I think about it, yeah, I do have to. I do. I just never been. I didn't even like. I'm anti-JID. I've never. Okay, I've heard his verses on certain songs, and I was like, I know he can rap. I know he's talented. I know he's like dope. I don't think he whack or nothing like that. I just never sat down and listened to like a full JID project or whatever. But again, I feel like I'm saying the same thing, but I'm not just making this up. Like, I've heard nothing but great things about it. I've heard great reviews. I gotta sit down. I've been slipping I would say it's been like a good 3 years of me just being like, mostly either I'm listening to music I grew up on, or I'll go back and like discover old music that I never listened to from like certain genres that I'm into. But I haven't been as tapped in recent years as like a lot of newer stuff, unless it just naturally comes across my radar. Now, I did see people talking about this, so I don't have no problem going to check it out, but I haven't, I ain't listened to it front to back yet. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, you know, it's all good, man. it's a good album. You know, I've never listened to a full JID project until this one, and yeah, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think if we're thinking of rap albums of the year so far, man, I don't know. I would say just with commercially and everything, I think JID might be over Clips. I think like when it comes down to like the Grammys and
You
everything,
really don't like this Clips album.
I like the Clips album. Yeah, I do like the Clips album. I'm just saying, like, I think JID's album though, like in my opinion,
and Alfredo too.
I mean, I said Alfredo too just because of the Alchemist beats. That's what I was saying. I said that's on a personal level. And I'm talking about like right now, like when it comes to, because you know, you think about like the Grammys and like how last year I was telling you, I was like, oh, that Doechii album, you know, I like that one of the best albums of the year, like rap albums of the year, and I could see how it can be, how it's going to probably get celebrated. You know, I didn't think it was going to be rap album of the year. I thought it was going to be, you know, definitely recognized, but I didn't think it was going to be rap album of the year. But I can see, so with just thinking about that and the scope of things, it's going to be between Clips and this so far, and I think JID might win. I don't know. It's going to be tough, but I think Clips are probably going to win just because of the name.
My favorite two songs on the JID album aren't on the JID album from this album. One is from the Prelux, the song with Yachty, and then the other one is the one that he put after Sun with Anicia. Those are my two favorite songs from this album. Yo, my boy just texted me back. He said, "Bro, really don't want you to eat off his name." All right, but yeah. But shouts out to Marco Plus. Marco Plus is also on work. But yeah. Also, I want to say this. Skate, I like Skate, and I like the joint with what's his name? Baby Kia. I like the Baby Kia one on McAfee.
McAfee, yeah.
I like Vince Staples' verse, and I like the intro, like with West Side Gun.
I think also
some of my early favorites. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think also I like this album a little bit more just because of features. Like I like Vince. I'm a big fan of Vince. You know, Vince I think is probably one of the most underrated artists.
100%.
Yeah, like Vince is super dope. And then
I think he suffers from being funny.
Yeah, I could say I agree with that. I think, and you know, a lot of people, I don't think he doesn't make a lot of songs that's like big, you know, like he had Magic with Mustard, you know, but I think a lot of times he just makes a lot of good just albums, you know, like good music where you can listen to it from top to bottom. It rides to good like beat selections, good, you know, rapping on there and everything. But then it's like as far as stuff that you're finna go listen to on the radio or that you can put on TikTok or, you know, or you can make a video to, you know, he doesn't make much music like that. So I think that's where he kind of loses people. He doesn't do a bunch of promo either, you know. I think recently, if you really think about it, since like, cause the last album he dropped was what, last year?
Yeah.
And I don't think he really did no interviews or nothing for that.
I seen him do more promo for Vince Staples show than the album.
Exactly, you know. So I think he just be dropping music. But I think with like that Sierra feature and Earth Gang, Don Toliver. I really like that Jessie Reyez. I like Jessie Reyez. Do y'all listen to Jessie Reyez?
Nope.
Is he a rapper or a singer?
She's a Hispanic singer.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I seen Mo laughing, and that made me laugh. I'm sorry.
I really rock with Jessie Reyez. She makes some really good music. So I think that's why for me, I enjoyed this album. As I said, like it's not even like I'm trying, because I think Malice probably had arguably one of the best verse on the album, you know, on that Community track. So, you know, I really, as I said, I rock with Clips, but I think it just that whole like I think this would just I like more melodic stuff. That's just a personal opinion, you know. And I think Clips is like more of that, you know, definitely more of like the beats are more hard hitting and all that. Great raps, but like, you know, kind of like a step above boom bap, you know, because it's like you got Pharrell adding more to it. But yeah, so I think on this album with, as I said, you got the baby Kia, the Mariba, Pastor Troy on there, you know, you got Ty Dolla $ign and Black, and you know, and then Jid was singing. That's what really, I ain't gonna hold you. Like I'll listen to the album, and then when Wholeheartedly came on, and then I was like, and I was listening to it, and I like, is he singing? I was like, okay, my boy, like he getting into it.
You don't know the joint of I've been really working hard. Stuff ain't really working now. Stuff ain't really working now. Oh, that's like one of his more popular songs. It came out like a few years ago.
Yeah, so like that's why
I felt like he been singing.
Yeah, I ain't really been tapped in like that. So yeah, but you know, that was I rock with the album, man. It was a very, very good piece of work. You know, I would definitely recommend, you know, check that out. Yeah, you know, I'm gonna listen to that Marco Plus. I got it downloaded, the Marco Plus versus the Underworld. So need to go ahead and tap into that. I've been listening to a lot of I ain't gonna hold you, bro. I wish I was more into Chromacopia before I went to go see him perform. Cause it's like listening to the songs now, like it's just I really rock with them now, seeing him perform them. But I wish I was more into it beforehand so that I could have, so the moment would have been even better. Cause like seeing the whole crowd like sing the do you feel the light? Do you feel that fire? Or like, you know, that part, like I remember, and I'm like, bro, like listening to the whole crowd sing that, I was just like, man, you know, like, okay, you know, this is rocking. I don't even really know this song like that.
I might fly back home the day of, bro, if he does a pop-up for Don't Tap the Glass.
I mean, he about to go to Europe.
Never mind.
Yeah, because that's what he was talking about. He was like, this is the last because you know the show I went to was the last show for
America and Chromacopia.
Yeah. So he was like, yeah, like, you know, then I so for the way he was making it sound, it's like, yeah, the next he finna do Europe soon.
Because he said you have my word, guaranteed Atlanta will get a show for Don't Tap That Glass.
Oh, he said that?
Yeah, on Twitter.
Oh, that's hard. Yeah, yeah, seeing him perform Don't Tap That Glass was pretty dope, bro.
Yeah, because I think he lives in Atlanta now. Like he recorded Chromacopia in Atlanta.
Yeah, I got a homegirl that works I think the Select, not to, you know, dox him, like he be going out there a lot. So I mean, but she said she worked there, and she was saying that she see him all the time. Like he just be randomly like just pulling up and just, you know, going out to eat there.
I saw one of the fans at the show, they were like, yeah, I see Donald Glover with his kids all the time playing in Piedmont Park. And I didn't know whether to believe it or not, but yeah, but I definitely believe every story about Tyler in Atlanta. I know there's one girl, she goes to Spelman. Dang, but she was like, she was like, she had a couple classmates who were on Sticky.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so the girls were like, got that mom, like all that and stuff. Like,
yeah,
those were girls from like Spelman.
See, I knew he I seen him tweet about like Bucket or something before. I didn't know he I don't know if he lives down here full time or not. I know he probably goes back and forth between LA and here, but
yeah.
I didn't know he was that makes sense though, because I feel like I've seen him talk more about Atlanta a lot recently. I didn't know Donald Glover stayed out here at all. I mean, I know
That's what I'm saying. That one, I'm not sure, how much of that
Yeah.
was true.
'cause I feel like he's been living in LA forever, but he might. I don't. Atlanta's weird because I feel like Atlanta's one of those cities where a lot of times when like the celebrities that's from here, when they move out, they never come back. Like they might visit, you know what I'm saying, but like rarely ever do you hear of somebody, either a celebrity they stay in Atlanta forever, or they move out and never come back. You don't really hear about celebrities moving out of Atlanta and then coming back here. I don't know why that is, but
Ludacris.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, you don't see Ludacris like that.
That's why Luda don't be getting mentioned on a lot of these like top Atlanta rappers unless you an old head, because Luda don't be around.
I mean he's shooting them Fast and Furious movies. I wouldn't be around either. I wouldn't. I'm out here with Vin Diesel, dog.
Chris Tucker be around. He be shooting movies.
Not really. We ain't seen a Chris Tucker movie in forever, bro.
He don't shoot as often as Fast and Furious for sure.
Nah, Chris Tucker low key for a long time. Chris Tucker was basically like retired, low key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's supposed to be in the because they finally got the. I mean, it's unfortunate because half the cast is no longer with us, but they finally got the Friday sequel. I think they got it secured.
Oh yeah, I heard that.
So I think he's supposed to be. He's not gonna play the same version of Smokey, but I think he's supposed to be in that movie or whatever. So yeah, we'll see.
Yo, last album to bring up real quick, the Gunna album. What was your thoughts?
Again, bro, I don't know. I'm gonna be honest, man. I don't know if I've heard nothing but. I ain't gonna say I've heard nothing but good things. I've seen some mixed reviews, but I've heard for the most part I've seen good reviews. I saw somebody the dude I follow on Twitter, shout out to Nerd at Cool Table, which he said Gunna album sound like the R&B singer Kim that being played on like the smooth jazz stations or whatever. They said it sounds like if Kim could rap. He said it in like a good way though. So I've heard like it's good. Not background music, but I've heard it's good like for like the gym or like something like that.
I think it is. I will say kind of background music in my opinion, because all the songs sound about the same, bro. I turned it on, bro, and it just went through. Because it was like nothing, sometimes you be listening to the album and then like, it's like that. I like, first listen sometimes like you're listening and then you're kind of, you're tuned in, but you just kind of letting it ride through. And then when something kind of stands out, you look at your phone like, oh, what song is this? Who's on here? Is that who I think it is? With this album, it just kind of just kept going. And then it was over. And then I was like, oh, dang, okay. It's cool, I like the song with Burna Boy. It's a solid song, who getting F tonight. The WizKid the WizKid song is cool. And I think some of the songs that like Won't Stop was already like out. That was a good. Can you scroll down a little bit? Yeah, I think it's cool. It's not bad. I think for me, it just, as I say, just kind of all just went through, and then it was just like it was over, and then I was like, okay, it wasn't like a bunch that just had just stood out, but yeah, it's solid, it's a Gunna album, I feel like since like the Drip or Drown, it just hasn't Drip season. My bad. Since like Drip season 4 was solid. That probably like the last full Gunna album that I listened to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's low-key like his biggest album.
Yeah, like when he was in the Drip season mode, like that was definitely he was like locked in. But yeah, he's still doing this thing, man. Yeah, Drip season.
My bad, bro.
Well, I was just saying, yeah, Drip Season Forever. Yeah, that one he went crazy.
No, I saw some people say that they think probably because this is his last album on YSL, he wasn't really trying to like put extremely amount of effort into it, like as far as the production and things like that. So maybe that's part of it. Why it's not like as um, why it's not as it doesn't stand out as much as his previous works, probably.
Are you guys noticing this Frank Ocean rollout?
No, I haven't peeped it.
I haven't.
So pretty much a bunch of people are saying, I seen more than one person on social media today say, I miss Frank Ocean. Where's Frank Ocean? And I was like, okay. When you see more than one person say it in a day, I'm like, okay, that's a rollout. So just something to look out for.
I think it's just people are just naturally just missing Frank Ocean. Like I had a homeboy the other day like talk about that.
We'll revisit this in 2 months.
Yeah, no facts. Like, cause definitely like as I had a homeboy the other day that was just like, yo, he was just like, man, when's the last time Frank Ocean dropped, man? Like, like we need a Frank Ocean album. I just think it's, that for like people are just like, man, because that last album, I personally really liked it. I think we had a conversation, me and Rashad had a conversation about this, about because I think you feel Channel Orange is better than what was the last album called?
Blonde? Is Blonde his last album?
Yeah.
That was 10 years. Man, stop talking to me about Frank Ocean, bro. That was 10 years ago.
And it's still ride. Wait, Jelani, you listen to Frank Ocean?
I'm in the same boat as Rashad where I love the Channel Orange. You know what happened with me and Frank Ocean? Like I love the Channel Orange. Like that might be honestly like that came out like the summer before our senior year. That might be my favorite R&B album that came out when we was in high school. Now that I think about it. But what he took so long to drop his next album after that, I kind of just stopped caring to a certain extent. And then I remember because he dropped the 2 albums in the same weekend. I remember when they came out, I remember being interested in it and like somewhat. I mean, I remember caring about it, but I never listened to it front to back, and I still haven't. And I need to. It's bro, I don't. Bro, I be listening to music. It's crazy. I listen to music all day, like 24/7. It's just certain stuff. It's so much music out here that if something slips through the cracks, even if it's an artist I care about, it's really hard for me to go back and listen to it. But I mean, I seen like they did the Apple Music list. They had the Blonde album in like the top 10 albums ever.
It was number 1.
No, I mean, they had Lauryn Hill number 1, but I think they had Blonde.
I thought he was but he was above like Songs in the Key of Life.
Yeah, something crazy like that, like above like My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy and stuff like that. I don't know if it was that crazy, but I ain't listened to it front to back yet though. So
I ain't gonna hold you. It's top 10. I think it's top 10. I don't know if it's better than Songs in the Key of Life. I don't know if it's better than My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, but it's top 10. Like in my opinion, that album is so just sonically, bruh. It's just like Nights. Nights is one of my favorite songs of all time.
Everybody needs you.
Yeah, bro. And
No,
then
you cannot make everybody equal.
Bro, when he switched it and then went to did the second half of the song.
New beginning.
Bro, it went crazy. But yeah, that solo Ivy, it's just a very introspective song, and that's why I think for me, it's even now, like Ivy didn't hit for me until last year. And it was just because I really just listened to the lyrics one day, and it was just like, dang, that's some real stuff, Like when Ivy is the one where he's like, I thought that I was dreaming when you said you love me. This started nothing, and it's crazy because it's like, I don't know, because when you think about it, like the introspectiveness of the whole album and just that song in particular, I think about how any relationship that you get into, it's like you think in those moments it was the biggest thing, but then at the end when it's nothing, it's the start of nothing. It's like, I don't know. That's why I was like, this man be spitting, bro. I don't know, so yeah, so I feel definitely love a new album. I think Ivy, in my opinion, is better than Channel Orange. I do love Channel Orange though, but I like personally, Blonde. I meant Blonde. Yeah, Blonde is over Channel Orange, but I think it's
If the sky is pink and white, if the ground is black and yellow, that's the same way you show. You show.
man.
You show me
Yo,
love.
I had a that shorty that I used to date that was like, that was like white passing and stuff. So she used to listen to a lot of like, she didn't like hip hop and stuff. And so she used to listen to a lot of like, like alternative and stuff. There's this one chick, I cannot remember her name, bro, but that made a version of Pink and White. And she was like, yeah, I think this is better than the original. I was like, don't you dare disrespect Frank Ocean. I was like, I should have broke up with her right then. Like,
I thought you was about to say Claro. I was like, Claro hard.
Nah, yeah. I cannot remember the girl name. It's like Renee or something like that. I don't know. I can't remember. But the version is solid. It's solid if you never heard Frank Ocean version. Like if you never heard Frank Ocean, that's a good representation of it, But then once you hear Frank Ocean, it's Frank Ocean, bro. Like Remy
Yeah,
Wolf,
is it?
yes.
Oh, Remy Wolf. She hard. She hard.
She is hard. She's a good artist.
She got some songs where she just like soulful. She like a soulful like Lizzo. She like a white Lizzo.
Yeah, and so that's why I like it's good. That's why I'm like, but it's not better than Frank's. Like,
yeah, off top without listening to it, I'll say that because that's a good song. Like Frank got some stuff. I just think he overrated. Like people be talking about him like he, like you know what I'm saying, he about to stop the universe. I'm like, bro, Childish Gambino better than him, bro. Now I said that at the Super Bowl, man, at the Super Bowl press conference because I ain't go to the actual game just before anybody's there. And they thought I would have, said the most outrageous thing. They said, bro, stop talking, bro. I said, man, y'all need to hop off Apple joint.
I don't know, my boy. Childish is really good. Donald Glover is a very, very talented artist. I don't know if he's made an album better than Channel Orange or Blonde.
Because the internet.
Because I would say with the script. If you read it with the like, I love Because the Internet, but I think with the script, it is just the whole thing together. I would say that might be better than like Channel Orange, but I think just the body of work by itself. That's another thing though. Side note, I hate that he deleted the script off of the internet, bro. I wish, like, Jelani, did you ever read the script for Because the Internet?
I remember, I don't know if I've heard the album like front to back a million times. I definitely remember reading, I don't know if I read the whole thing. I definitely remember reading at least like the first part of it. But I don't think I listened to it at the same time. I think I might have read it or like part of it, and then, but I didn't listen to. I probably did it wrong because I think you're supposed to read it while you listen to the album.
Yeah, you're supposed to read it while you playing the album.
Yeah. I think I was just reading it separately, and I was kind of like, all right, where's this going or whatever. He was doing so much stuff around that whole rollout as far as like interactive stuff with the coding on the website and things like that. Like he was doing a lot of creative stuff around that time. But I gotta, is it nowhere on the internet to be found? I'm sure it's somewhere.
It's probably on Reddit. It's probably on Reddit.
Yeah, probably somewhere.
Yeah, because like you definitely can't go to. It used to be BecauseTheInternet.com or whatever. Yeah, that's gone. Yeah, you probably can't find it on Reddit, but that's what, man, I just remember reading that and yeah, like, cause it'll tell you like play this song right here and then hey, yep. Bro, yeah, that to me, that was one of the best like things where he put that together, because that was always so dope. Yeah. Yo, Jelani, bruh, you should come with me to New Orleans in November, bruh. I'm going to Yeah, I'm gonna go out there to see my boy Rashad, and then also go to the Falcons and Saints game.
Yeah, okay. I've never been to New Orleans, and I definitely want to go. Okay, for sure. You didn't gave me a few months to prepare to wait. When is the Falcon Saints game? Hold
I
on, let me
think
see.
the 23rd.
Yo, my birthday is the 21st.
Oh, really?
Yeah, of November.
Oh, yeah, we gotta go
Yeah,
up.
we might have to make that happen. Yo, okay, for sure. So I think is Thanksgiving that next week or is it that same week? I'm trying to see.
I think it's that week.
Is it? I mean, I could still be in Georgia for Thanksgiving and just come out that Friday. I'm looking up the Thanksgiving date real quick.
Oh, actually, no. Thanksgiving is the 27th, and I think the game is the 23rd.
The 28th. Oh wow. Okay. Bet. All right. So now I got a few months to prepare now. Okay, for sure. That's definitely a bet. I gotta make that happen.
But yeah, we can start planning.
Man, heck nah, bro. According to TMZ, Meg Thee Stallion and Cardi B been approached about performing Super Bowl next. Man, look, Jay-Z. If you don't get a white artist,
is that real?
Well, it was from a Stan page, so I don't know how to.
Okay, I'm about to say. Yeah. Now the rumor I was hearing was Jay-Z himself. Well, that's what they were saying earlier this year. It was like Jay-Z himself was supposed to perform, which I think would be super dope. But that's what I want to see. I want to see Jay himself go up. Bro, Jay need to put out an album, dog. Like it's been almost a decade, man. Like it's time.
Yeah, no, that would be hard, bro. Yo, last thing I want to point out, it's crazy. I don't know if y'all peeped this. So as we've been looking at these different albums, if you look at the plays, so Gunna's album right here got 1.5 million. Bruh, Alfredo 2 had 2 million plays on the first song.
That's what I'm saying. He got like a sneaky.
It's been out longer though.
Nah, Alfredo 2 dropped
maybe like a week.
It came out like 2-3 weeks ago. This came out last week.
I think. Well, it's not that big. Well, Gunna's a way bigger artist. That's the more.
Yeah.
Well, like I was saying before, like Freddie Gibbs got like a sneaky white boy fan base. Like he got like a dedicated he be posting the pictures of with his fans or whatever. It'd be like a lot of like 17, 18-year-old white boys going to his shows.
Nah, facts. Yeah, that I was just when I was looking through, and because he had the most of all the albums that we had looked at. Like I saw he had 2 million plays, and that was the most of all the albums that we had saw. And when we went to Gunna, I was like, what?
That's crazy. Nah, he like sneaky popular, which is crazy because he, it's wild. Like when the blog era was going on, I feel like certain rappers was bigger than him back then, like Wale, Big Sean, Meek Mill. Freddie Gibbs probably bigger than all of them right now. Like at this exact moment.
Yeah.
I didn't expect Big Sean to like kind of get so quiet. Like he used to be mainstream,
super mainstream at one point.
And he still be dropping music too. It just
be quiet for him.
Yeah, his after that Metro album, bro. That Metro album did him in, man.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it was just crazy because I don't even think it was that whack. I just feel like once social media decides that they're gonna run with a certain narrative, you can't shake it. Like
that's why the Chance thing was such a big deal. And I seen someone was like, "Let's start with this Chance fell off thing." Like Chance been put in. I was like, "Bro, stop being dense." Like, once you get Logic, it's difficult to bounce back from that. And Logic literally had to go independent and drop music nonstop for like 5 years for people to like, in his core fan base, be like, "We still rocking with Logic." Like, it took him that much to like even bounce back to where he's at now, which I feel like is where he was before his first album when he was just underground doing mixtapes. So
yeah, because tell you, man, I'm gonna listen to that later. Under the Influence, Well, that's what it was called, right?
No, you talking about Under Pressure.
Yeah.
I was like, he talking about Logic, but what's the name of that album?
Yeah, but Under Pressure, bro, man, when he dropped Under Pressure, I was like, oh man, this dude, like that album had him in my top 5.
Yeah, for sure. Him and Gambino was in the top 5 back then, 2014.
Yeah, nah, facts. Yeah, but that Under Pressure, bro, that was just such a great album. Like, especially that last song, To the End. To the End is still one of my favorite songs, bro.
Yeah, no. Logic be rapping his behind off, bro.
Yeah, he just got so corny, man.
The internet decided he was corny. And that like Jelani say, once the internet label you as something, it's difficult to fight
It's
that
over
on.
with.
Bro, I told you, like, I saw him perform and I was like, nah, that's what ruined it for me. Like, I swear it was at one point, bro. He was like, it was like he had somebody throw like a ball, like a beach ball or something, and then he had like his arms like a hoop, and then they threw the ball into the thing, and then once it went in, then the beat dropped. I was like, you're done. I can't do this. Like, I ain't gonna hold you. It was just such a corny performance, bro. It was by far, like, it wasn't a bad performance, but I was just like, this ain't for me. And like, I just stopped being a fan. That
Well, but when I seen him, it was pre the 1-800 song. So he was still at Tabernacle. So it still had that feeling where he just rapping. Like, the craziest thing he was doing was just like the lighting. Like, there was no lighting when he first came out for the first song. And then at the end of the first song, the lights came on him. That was like the most interesting part of that show. Other than that, it was like just the DJ, him and the DJ going back and forth when he was rapping fast. That was it. So it was just a pure hip hop show when I was there.
Yeah, nah, this was after the 1-800 song.
This one, he doing arenas and he trying to do a full show type deal.
Well, it wasn't an arena; it was an amphitheater.
Okay.
That amphitheater that's out in, I think it's
Lakewood?
Yes.
You know, the Lakewood Amphitheater is as big as arena. Like, it's like 15,000 seats, 17,000 seats.
Well, I mean, because it's half of it is grass.
Yeah, but I had no idea until the Kalani joint, and I was like, I don't get why people don't just do those shows inside at the arena. It probably costs more though.
Nah, that's a fact. Yeah, because I could see. I didn't know that, but now that you say it, like, I can definitely see that. Because especially you have it packed out, like that thing. That's it'd be a lot of people out there, man. Jelani, okay, last question. You said you haven't been to a show in a minute. What was the last concert you went to?
I've literally been to one concert in my life, like literally that one birthday bash that I went to, which was, I mean, I saw Ye, Drake, and Future, which was like, and Drake and Future was at their peak at the time, so like that was dope. But I don't know what it is. Like, I've never been. It's been certain shows that I want to go to, like, that'll pop up, but I just never. I don't know. Like, I enjoy it. I think I'm the same way with like live sporting events. Like, I don't really like. I'll maybe like baseball every now and then or anything like that. But like, I prefer to watch sports at the crib. I feel like I'm the same way with music. Like, I prefer to just listen to it at home. But that's definitely something in my 30s. I want to be more. Even if it's not a bigger tour, because it'd be, especially living in Atlanta, it's a lot of local shows where it'll be like a local spot, and if you tapped in, you could catch, especially like the older artists that are going on like these tours, like more local stuff. You can catch a great artist. So I definitely more so want to be. I want to get more into that in my 30s for sure. Going to concerts.
Nah, facts. Yeah, I know you were saying you want to move back towards the city by next summer. And I'm on the same wave. I'm trying to move back towards the city by the beginning of next year, but next summer by the latest. And definitely, that's one thing. Once I get back towards the city, I want to go back to just more like local shows. Like, I met this one band. I went to a show, and it was a guy. The band's called Latrain Up, something like that. If you could pull them up for me, Rashad, LETRAINUP. AIN and then IUMP, Latrinium. But yeah, like I had went to the show, man, and he had performed, and black dude with like a bunch from Louisiana, and man, it was such a great show, and yeah, it was a really good show. Buddy was real cool. Like I met him afterwards. Like we follow each other on the gram and everything. But it's like stuff like that you can't, at the little venues, as they're still on the come up. I'm like, he clearly ain't that big yet. But I'm like, I'll tell him, I was like, bro, like I think you got potential to really like take it, take it there because he's very talented. He makes kind of like a rock, but with like a little bit of pop, like kind of like a pop rock. But yeah, but stuff like that, yeah, like going to those, because it was at Rashad. What's that one place? I feel like you probably been there before. It's over by Botanical.
By Botanical. Okay, so Botanical, you have Piedmont Park. I've gone over there for a bunch of like festivals and stuff. You have.
Okay, you know where like that Publix and all that stuff is, like that gas station and all that right there. Then right across the street, it's a place where they be doing shows. It's like a bar, but they be having like.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I don't know the name of it, but I know what place you're talking about.
Yeah, I cannot think of the name, but that's where he was performing. I went there, and yeah, it was some other people that performed before him. They, they were cool. It was really more. You could just tell they were younger. They got hype, like because like a bunch of their fans were there, and then these guys were the headliners, and I was like, oh, y'all are talented for real. But yeah, but more of the story is when we get back to the city, bro. Jelani, we're gonna be on all that, bro.
Oh no, I'm definitely.
What was your last show, Mo?
Tyler.
Oh, that's a big one. My last show was Larizi in at Gaza. I think that was my last show, in New Orleans. So shout out Larizi. And he wasn't even the headliner. He was an opener for Alfred Banks, who's a longtime New Orleans rapper.
Me and my dad was just talking yesterday. They got that I be seeing it on TikTok, but they got that jazz lounge. It's in Marietta too. I forget what the name of it is, but I'm gonna try to hit that up one night too. It's like a they be playing jazz there or whatever. But I ain't even know. What'd you say?
So get some cigars.
Yeah, you feel me? Come home smelling like good tobacco.
Right.
Yeah, what was I finna say? Yeah, no, I'll say it off the air, but yeah.
Yo, real quick, Jelani, you ever been to that pizza spot that's on Windy Hill? Rashad, you probably know what I'm talking about. It's a pizza spot on Windy Hill. I cannot remember the name of it. They got one in Atlanta too. It's not Chicago's. Is it Chicago?
Oh, I know Chicago style piece or Chicago.
No,
they had it at Georgia State.
Is it Chicago's on Windy?
It's a sit down spot.
Yeah, well, you can sit down. But they got in the back, so it's like the front area is like pizza, wings, whatever. You get whatever you want, and then in the back area, it's a cigar lounge.
You talking about not Blue Moon? Is that what you talking about?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, I must say Blue Moon been over there forever.
No, it's let me see.
I think I won't call it Nightlife Pizza. I literally just typed in pizza Windy Hill Road.
Yeah,
I know you talking about this place, bro.
No. Chicago is Chicago's a different place.
Okay. So you're not talking about the joint off of South Cobb?
No. Yeah,
you know what place I'm talking about?
Yeah, that place be lit. That place,
that place is darn near a club.
Yeah, for real.
That's around the corner from people I know. I'm not doxing nobody.
It's one right there on the underground. The place that I'm talking about, they got one that's right there at the underground. Dang, bro, why can I not remember the name of this right now? This is irritating. But yeah, Goodfellas.
Goodfellas, okay. I know you talking. I know exactly where that's at too. Yeah.
Yeah, the Goodfellas over on Windy Hill, bro. That's a cool little spot, bro. They be having like it's a cigar lounge in the back, and
Oh,
like
for
you
real?
know, it's more of like a grown and sexy vibe. But you know, it'd be cool, bro. They have a good little DJ. You go there, watch a game. As I said, like I kind of got into cigars a little bit last year, a little bit, not really. But you know, they got a good selection in there. And like you know, they'll like kind of walk you through it and everything. But yeah, so it's a cool little spot. Yo, last place. You ever been to Doc's?
Me and my dad was literally just talking about Docs yesterday. That's funny. That he was just talking about how wild it be getting up in there sometimes.
Bruh, Doc's be crazy, bro. Yo, Rashad, you ever been to Doc's, bro? Bro, it's right there by
So it's literally like right by the battery, like right in that area or whatever. I mean, it's not like in the battery, but like
type in Cobb Parkway. I think it's on
Yeah.
Cobb Parkway. Yeah, if you nah, this ain't none of these are it. I think that's it right there. Yeah. Bruh, yeah. They be open mad late. Bruh, you get anything to drink there. Any like a single is a double automatically.
Oh,
They-
that's where we used to be parking.
yeah. Yeah, it
Yeah,
be
that-
lit in
that-
there. I ain't gonna
let's
hold
put
you.
your car now.
But yeah, bro. Yeah, shoot.
Yeah.
You know, listeners, if y'all done tapped in this late, hey, we giving y'all the good little spots around Marietta, you know.
Yeah, I'm finna say you can't complain about us being local at this point. You here for the ride, bro.
Facts.
Yeah, I seen H. You know what I'm talking about. I seen H tweet about she was when she be in town, she be going there. But I know a few pretty girls that be going through there though. Like everybody I know says it get like a little bit wild up in there though.
Yeah.
My dad was just talking about that.
Yeah, they got some good wings though. I rock with them. But yeah, but all right,
Shout out to the this is by far, shout out to the listeners, by far our longest episode. You know what I mean? So
Well, it's slightly my fault because we went off into that 30-minute thing about the streamers.
oh no, I wasn't complaining. I was just saying,
yeah. But it is Monday.
it is a Monday night. We went to 1:30.
But yeah. For sure, fellas, everybody. Good pod. You know, y'all go around and let the people know where they can find you on social media.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter _ I'm gonna always call it Twitter _ Jelani 2 underscores. Probably gonna have to make a new TikTok account. I didn't have that many posts on the old one just because I broke my phone and I don't have the password to the TikTok. So I needed to make a new. I gotta make a new Twitter account for the I just need to make a whole like Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, and then and Instagram. Yeah, we gonna upgrade the socials, man. Next episode we talk, we're gonna have an update on the socials for the but they're under construction right now. So
yeah, you know, find me on RB Mo _ find me Monos _ on X and and yeah, man, you know, I'm on TikTok too. What's my TikTok name? Yeah, y'all go run up my video, man. I got a cool 837 views on it. You feel me?
Oh snap! New York's finest.
Right, you know what's going on. Yeah, bro. I think I mentioned it last pod. Yeah, like I had posted a video, like a recap of my New York trip, bro. It got like 700 views overnight, and then just stopped.
that's how it be. The algorithm. That's how they do you.
What's your TikTok? Mo knows.
Rubber Band Mo.
Rubber Band Mo. Hold on, give me a second. TikTok. You are going for L1. I think something about the TikTok. Rubber Band OG. Oh, I'm scared to put up my little search thing, so I'm gonna go to another tab.
Hey, it'd be like that. I understand.
Oh snap! There you go. With the Julio Jones, your first one that is crazy. First one had 29, the second one had 837 and look official. Oh, this one look 5-2. Oh, I remember this one.
Yeah,
Oh, this was the birthday joint. That's how I saw it.
yeah.
Wait, who is this? I'm joking. I'm joking. All right,
Hey,
bro.
I'm glad you brought up that. I'm glad you brought up that note. I will talk about it off the air. Yeah, I was gonna say I'm glad you brought up that New Orleans trip because now I can lock in. Now I got a reason to really, you know, what I'm saying when I'm in the gym, like yo, you don't want to be a fat boy when you go to New Orleans. So, you know, what I'm saying
It's low key like Atlanta weekend down there whenever the Falcons come. So
it is. That's gonna be live.
this would be my first one living down here, so it'd be like all the people coming into town for real. It'd be cool.
Right.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be repping too.
And then that's why I told him already. I'm gonna be down there jigging in my video jersey. I'll see.
With the I see. Okay.
Did y'all see last year they did the Bourbon Street takeover and then we lost?
No, I didn't see that.
That sounds about right. That sounds like
They did a Bourbon Street takeover and then they lost. Crazy.
I went to the game last year when they played in Atlanta.
Oh yeah, that was my last game working in Atlanta.
Oh dang, for real?
Yeah, very ironic. My last game was against the Saints. Yeah.
Yeah, I went with my homegirl, bro. It's so weird. It's hard to have platonic friendship these days, bro. Like, I mean, it's easy when you know that y'all are just friends. I said a platonic friendship. I mean, that's a friendship or a platonic relationship, but it's easy when you know y'all are friends, but then it's like everybody around y'all, it's like just like, yeah, bro, how you gonna have your girl out here in Saints clothes, bro? Man, hey, your girl, she gonna, hey, you win tonight, blah, blah, blah. It's like, bro, like, nah. It get weird because it's like you don't want to have to tell every person, like, man, that ain't my girl. Bro, that ain't my girl. Sometimes you just be like, all right, I feel you, bro.
Yeah. When we get home, I'm gonna teach her a lesson.
Okay.
All right. Another great episode of the 1 a.m. Pod, man. We'll see y'all boys next week. Peace.
Peace.
Chicks on your APs, looking like Weez. Haven't changed.